Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Do you like ghosts and ghosts? Do you have fights and fights in? Do you have bad dates in? Do you like ghosts and ghosts in?
Oh, the thing is, oh, the thing is, oh, the thing is, oh.
Hey guys, this is Shannon. You're listening to The Thing Is. Do you hear me?
I hear you now.
Okay. This is Shannon. You're listening to The Thing Is. Thanks for coming back to join us. I'm sorry, so many things are happening. I don't know why I can't hear it. Yeah, I hear it. I got it. Everything's great. Everything's great.
Shake the 8-ball. Just shake the 8-ball too.
I'm here as always with my... I know, that's what's making me second guess it. With my really funny co-host, comedian Mike Figs.
What's up, Shanny? Happy to be here.
One hair below hilarious.
One hair.
Oof.
One hair below. If I'm late, I get tormented. And I was late for one show today, but I did come bearing gifts.
I'm proud of you.
That's all it really takes.
Proud of you.
Oh, I thought it's not. That's not Josie.
Stuck with me for now.
It's a wigger walking in the hallway.
Is it? I love those. I'm from Cincinnati. That's all we do. Shout out to Gary Owen.
Oh boy! And then joining us for the first time on the show, it is comedian Michael Turner. Welcome.
What is good? How we feeling?
Happy to have you here.
Yeah.
So
I haven't seen you since probably Houston Skankfest.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. What a pre-pandemic.
Yes, that's what I saw
Yeah, we probably
feel like
met
I've
there.
always seen you at
Honestly,
Skankfest.
yeah. It's always funny seeing
those-
Skankfest people. Because it's like, oh, last time I saw you, I think Zach was stapling a $100 bill to his testicles. Wasn't that great?
Was that Houston? Or
Was that? Yeah, exactly.
That could be any day.
I know. That's just crazy.
Was
Hi,
it a Jack of
Josie.
Spades or a 10 of clubs?
Oh.
Josie, you wore green. You're not supposed to. I'm just
Get
kidding.
in
I'm just
here.
kidding.
Oh.
Josie, you fucked up. Josie, you fucked
Can you?
up.
I can't roll this.
You fucked up.
Josie, you're my source of most frustration.
I know.
You ever heard that?
For most people.
You know, shout out to Blink 182.
Shout out to Blink 182.
Welcome, Josie. Josie Marcellino rejoins the show.
Hi. Sorry.
That's okay. I will say though, she did the opposite of what you do, Figs, where she was running late and she overshot the time. She's like
Smart.
probably like 4:15, and then we're pleasantly surprised when she arrives
Wow.
before the time.
So surprised.
It's a veteran move.
Where Figs,
Spent a
however,
lot of years being
Yeah,
late.
being consistently tardy.
Figs would be like, "In 5 minutes," and then I'll check it in 5 minutes. He's like walking over now from the
10
train.
minutes.
Yeah.
10 minutes, sorry.
See, I used to do that.
Yeah.
And now I'm actually usually on time now.
Yeah.
And now I've learned like, oh no, if you overshoot and then it's just a little people are better
People are
about
actually
that.
very happy.
And then it gives you some leeway in case you are actually that late and shit continues to
Yeah.
go wrong.
Yeah,
Look
it's
at
the Metro
somebody-
North. Yeah, I take the Metro North. It's a different, very classy train.
No, I get that.
So sometimes, you know, I mean, it is what it is. 'Cause
Yeah.
sometimes it'll just go super fast, and I'll be here, but I'll, you know, so.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. It's never your
often
fault.
does
Most
that
of the time,
happen?
a guy
Sometimes.
in Harlem jumps in front of the train most of the time, and then it just gets delayed.
Josie, would you like a White Claw?
I'm okay for right now.
Okay.
But thank you.
It's right there.
Okay, I do.
You can see it, right?
I do want to just do a quick recap on last week's episode. So sorry, guys, but I'm
Oh, yeah.
gonna show you guys something. Harrington, if you can go to the YouTube from last week, because this is like my favorite moment.
With me and Robbie.
It's around a minute 21-ish.
Oh, boy.
Harrington on last
Me and the
week's
powerful
episode.
Robbie Goodwin, we reunited.
Yes.
We had a very fun episode together.
Yes, first time broadcasting since their
We're
breakup.
both on new medication.
Yeah,
so
and-
we're
and-
both feeling good.
And surging.
We were surging.
Surging.
We were Lexaproing.
He was.
And we
Is that White Claw surging?
Yeah.
And that it's just this is just malt liquor. What is it, like 12% or something?
Yeah, that one is like
Those are aggressive.
Too much.
It's too
It doesn't
much.
taste good. These taste good. Those do not taste good.
They're too
Exact-
much.
It
exactly.
kind
Yes.
of defeats the purpose of the White Claw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to taste, oh, this is fine, and you get a little hammered.
If
Yeah.
you want to surge, okay? It's if you want to surge,
you want to
surge.
surge.
All right? It's up to you.
It was a surging kind of day.
Yeah.
last
We were all
week.
fucked up. Yeah. Oh,
So-
boy, what are you going to show?
Surgeon and Lexapro.
Do you not know what I'm going to show?
A minute.
He doesn't know.
A minute into,
He was mid-surge.
we were laughing.
In his defense.
We were doing bad impressions. No, I don't remember.
This is crazy.
You touched
met
his,
him.
you
Neither-
touched his
nobody
dick.
knows.
Did I touch his
You
dick?
touched his
Did I
dick.
suck Robbie's dick?
Jorge doesn't know either?
Did Jorge suck? Did we all suck Jorge's dick?
Yes, you don't remember that? So about an hour.
Oh, an hour.
21. Yes.
I thought she was saying a minute.
Yeah,
thought
you
she
said
said
a
a
minute
minute.
22.
I
You
said,
said
122. I said
122.
122.
Yeah, so we were
Yeah,
looking
so it was
for
an hour.
That's
Hour
fair.
22.
We heard
yeah.
the word minute.
All right.
Minute
right?
22 is like
I
the
know.
intro.
In that case, yeah, I know what you're talking
Okay.
about.
And
Thank
she's
you.
coming at you for time stuff. Crazy.
He's not thinking because of the time. He just doesn't remember the episode.
Yeah, because you still don't know.
He has no idea.
Surging.
Yeah, your ball's deep in a surge
I
at
was
that
deep
point.
in surge.
Yeah, I was
surge mode.
surprised that you were surging that hard a minute into the episode.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was
That's
saying.
crazy.
I was like, what the fuck was... I was... Oh my God.
so now
Honestly,
that we're-
having met you at Skankfest, I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
Been
No,
to 22 Surge Fest.
You know what I mean?
Surge Fest. Oh,
Surge
that's
Fest
fun.
is good. Oh, that we could do.
It's branding.
Yes, that would be the TTI Festival, Surge Fest.
Surge.
Oh my God, it's hilarious. And you have to crack a whole surge before you... Oh God.
Shotgunning surges.
Vomit all over the place.
That immediate vomit.
Just alco pop vomit. Just
Horrible.
That you
suds.
remember. The things you remember.
But he doesn't
Alco
remember
pop.
this.
Yes.
fucking- Alco pop, right? I don't know.
All right, Harrington, do you have it?
What is going on over here? It's a setup.
Come on,
I
Harrington.
can't believe you don't remember.
You're
this.
better than
And if
this.
you don't, I'll keep talking. If you don't have it,
This
okay.
whole thing's a setup.
Here it is.
Okay.
Mars bar. See, they don't give you enough mustard
You have
on
to
the
go back a little bit.
sandwich. My Kubrick.
A little bit
You
more.
must look all overrated. Scary movie
Just wait
sucks.
for when I'm
parenting.
fun.
We're doing...
Yeah, just right
Parenting?
You watch Mike
there.
Parent?
Go back just a tiny bit. So he's
Parenting.
Mike Parent.
Oh, Shannon lost her mind.
just
So
pause
first
it,
off,
go back a
wait.
little bit.
Pause it. Okay, you already felt the surge.
Yeah.
You already felt
All
the
I'm feeling
surge.
is surge. Yeah.
Sure.
So Robbie and I got into a dark hole of doing bad Joe DeRosa impressions. And I was
Okay.
like, he was like, no, I like M&M's. I was like, I had sex with a tranny. He was like, well, dude, come on. It's basically...
They were doing lots of bad impressions.
It was a lot
Okay.
of bad, but we were deep into Joe DeRosa. Good friend of ours, good friend of the show. Shout out Joe DeRosa.
Mm-hmm.
He's watching. And I mentioned this show called The Parenting.
Very good. Good job. You did it. The
But I
movie,
was
The
so
Parenting.
surged up. I was like, did you see The Parenting? And Shannon loves it when my grammar is just not, when I can't talk.
When anybody flubs a word, there's no joke any comedian can ever
And I
tell
couldn't
that
say it
will
right.
tickle me
Misspeaking.
that way.
I
Yes,
couldn't
that gets
say it
me.
right, so that was like parenting, parentong, the parenting,
He's
the
like,
parenting.
am I still
the
not
parenting,
saying it right?
the parenting.
It's a weird word, first of all.
It is
Is
parenting.
it? It's just because you're hearing
the
it too many
happening,
times
but
right
the
now.
parenting.
That's
Sorry,
fair.
is it not what you're actively trying to do in your personal life?
It is. It is.
That's
Yeah.
crazy that you can't say the word.
But when I'm surged up, stepdaddy goes off the rails.
Surged up on the Metro North.
Yeah, well,
This guy's not parenting.
Can't load my ticket. It's embarrassing.
Okay, go ahead, Harrington. Let's just watch a little bit of it.
The parenting?
You watch Mike Parrington?
The parenting. It's the parenting.
Mike Parrington.
Parenting. Parenting. I'm Joe DeRosa.
You can skip ahead just a little bit and just see how long this
You're
goes for.
overrated.
Scary movie sucks.
Into the with no baby.
Oh, my God.
A Mars bar. Get.
Michael Myers.
I'm Kermit the Frog. And Natalie.
Nirvana sucks.
Wait,
the
here.
Beatles
The
suck.
parenting was so good.
Rolling Stones suck.
Am I saying Shannon is laughing at something else, but
Because both of them are just still riffing and they have no idea what I'm actually
that
laughing
movie
at.
was so good.
Is this a film?
It's a movie. It's
Yeah,
a scary
yeah.
movie, but it's like silly scary.
Okay.
And there's actually
really
moments
funny.
that like really made me laugh at it. Star-studded cast.
Really funny, star-studded cast.
And so
Yeah,
I suggested that he watch it. So he
And I
watched
loved it. My girl
Parenting.
loved it. It was like a comedy movie. It was good. It was
Can
good.
you say the word now?
The parenting.
It's close.
it's-
Close to being
it's
wrong,
still a
but it's
struggle.
it's right there. It's very close to not
Parenting.
being correct.
The parenting. I'm parenting. The parenting.
it sounds foreign coming
Why
out
do
of
I
it.
sound-
I don't know why.
The parenting. I sound Jamaican when I say the parenting. The parenting.
The parenting man.
The parenting, boy. You know, I seen the parenting. Parenting. Parenting.
We're all very proud of you.
Thank you.
Mid surge to say any word over 3 syllables.
Thank
It's
you.
crazy.
Thank you, Michael Turner.
Come on.
It's not over 3 syllables, but
Parenting. It is 3 exactly.
Yeah.
You're right. It's a push.
I
We
was
call
add-
that a push.
I was adding syllables. That was the problem.
yeah, exactly. His
The
was
parenting,
for it. That's
the
what it
parenting.
was. Parenting.
Parenting.
you were saying Parrington.
I was saying parenting.
like Mike.
Harrington.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why
Harrington.
Robbie was like, hurry up. Like, Rob, what are you talking
Mike
about?
parenting.
Mike Parenting.
So go back and
Good
watch
film.
that. Watch that whole episode
Oh, it was a
also,
wild
guys,
one.
if you haven't
Oh,
seen
run
it.
it back.
It's a wild one.
But also,
the-
fast forward to hour 20.
Yeah.
It's a laugh ride.
But also check out
No,
Minute
don't
20
fast
as well.
forward
That
hour
was
20
fun.
because then you end up like these two, just like, what the fuck is so funny? We're playing it. He's like, I don't get it.
I do love it. She was like building it up, like, dude, you sucked a man's dick.
yeah,
He
yeah.
misspoke.
He's just like, they're just doing Joe DeRosa.
It's also crazy that that's Shannon's favorite moment from the show ever. I've been on the show 3 times times before. That's fine though. That's fine.
I didn't say favorite moment on the show ever. I said
You-
this.
you
no,
said
no, no.
those exact-
I
Just for that
said I said
episode.
nothing makes me laugh more
Sure.
That's good.
than a flub
Then
tour.
fibbing and
So
flubbing
I
it
did
up.
laugh the most
I like
on that
that.
episode. Okay, and then I
that
just
is
want to
good.
tell you
Good
about
movie.
the psychic vision I had today.
Jesus.
So I came into the studio, and as soon as I came in, I felt really uncomfortable, and I start looking around at all the walls. I came in, I saw Jorge, and I said, Jorge, there's gonna be a bug here today. Just know it. And I'm looking around, I'm
yeah.
checking every angle, every room, and I'm like, I'm scared to go into the bathroom. I don't want to go into the bathroom. I walk into the bathroom, I'm checking everything. I don't see anything. I'm okay. They get in here, and then hours later, I see a commotion in the lobby, and I'm like, I freaking know just what's happening. And there was a giant devil bug out there.
A giant one.
Don't say
What's
it. Don't say the name of it.
See, we're all special on this podcast.
Don't say the name of it.
I search,
It's the
and you
worst.
can't say certain words to her.
It's just the
'cause it will
worst
affect
bug
it.
that exists.
And
Just
she,
the
likes
worst.
to, and she likes to hit the bell if you say the thing is.
How many legs does it have?
6. It's a proper
Oh.
bug.
Was there a movie based on it in apartments?
No.
It rhymes with.
That's not it.
Oh, the Joe.
Yeah.
That's owned by
Does it
Joe.
rhyme
Was
with
it, isn't that what it is?
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Does it rhyme with approach?
Yeah.
You're getting uncomfortably close.
Were there
Josie.
4 of them in Men in Black 1 and 2?
Yes.
Yes, now you're getting there.
Okay.
So I just knew it. I had a premonition. If I
Yeah,
could
it was
just
a big one too.
Those are gnarly.
I don't know if that's so much a premonition as just like
You live in New York City.
you live in New York. You're here. You live here.
I've
you're-
never
you're
come in
here.
and said it
You
before.
come here.
You're
every
here.
day.
I've
You
never come in
smell-
and said it before.
That's
Wow.
I mean fair, but I think it's the likelihood of there being one of those in this place pretty high.
Yeah, it's not like that's a random thing to see.
It wasn't like a meteor crashed
Do
through
you
the
believe
ceiling.
that I
It
saw
was-
one in this city?
There was a girl squirting in Studio C. Can you believe it?
Yeah, right.
You're a Gas Digital.
Not anymore.
It was
not
a
on this
premonition. I
table.
saw a man masturbating on the D train. Can you believe this?
I had a
That is
feeling.
creepy though that you knew.
I just knew it was going to be today.
A big girl too. It was a
I knew
big
it.
girl.
Really?
How big are
Pregnant.
we
Nope.
talking?
No.
Preggies?
It was a
I'm going to
pregnant
close
one.
my eyes and you
Wait,
can
do you know
show
when they're
them.
pregnant?
There's-
He did it.
I have a
The
premonition.
parenting.
Yep. Yep. No, I wasn't pregnant. It was
How
just
big are we talking?
It was just a big girl. It was maybe the size of my hand.
No, it wasn't.
Maybe like from here, like this.
Was
big.
it black or brown?
Ralph had a. We
Wait,
don't, we
there's
don't do
black
that on this
ones?
podcast.
There's black ones, and
Guys,
those ones aren't that
It was
bad.
brown. It was brown.
Oh, those are bad.
And Ralph stepped on it with his foot.
Oh, it's dead?
Big. It's dead. It's dead.
Do you
Yeah, we
think
caught
it was
Do you
going
think
to
they-
still be here and I would still be
Ralph.
here?
I don't know.
I wouldn't.
can't even
Sometimes
say
they get
the
away.
word.
They get away.
Oh, no. That wouldn't be acceptable.
That one
was-
is
Oh, I
the
see.
size of a hamster. It can't get away then.
It was
It's our
upside
pet
down
now.
when he found it.
Oh, I don't want to talk about it
Oh,
anymore.
that's why he
I
found
just
it.
wanted to talk
Yeah.
about the idea of what happened and let's move on.
All
Which
right.
means he might have fell from the top. Which imagine if you were walking and it like
Bro.
landed on top of your head.
I don't
like
like this
that shit.
conversation either.
$1 million. You got to stick your hand in a bunch of them.
Indiana Jones
to
style?
get it to get a key.
Yeah.
I don't
Would you
think-
do it?
I don't
1
think-
mil.
I don't think I could. I don't think I could do it.
But Harrison Ford is on the other side of the wall, dying.
I don't.
I just watched that recently. I hated that scene too. That scene fucks with me. Those bugs, I don't like
Temple
bugs
of
either.
Doom? Is that
It
Temple
was
of Doom?
well, they did both of them. I think Temple of Doom was the more the bugs with the blonde broad.
Okay, yeah. Classics.
Battle Camp. Anyone watching that? I know you're not, Michael.
Battle Camp. Oh, is this the reality stuff?
Yeah, reality stuff. No,
Can't
Battle
Sounds
Camp.
good though. I like it. Sounds fun.
Because there was like an eating challenge with bugs, and one of them they had a slice of pizza. They were dead though, and with a dead tarantula on it, and they had to eat that. If it's
How much money is on the line? It'd have to be like 7 figures for me to. Even
No,
think
it was
about
not.
It's
It-
probably not.
I'm trying to think because I watched 2 different competition shows recently. It's either 30,000 or 250,000. It's one of those two. What was the other
Honestly.
one I watched?
What
There
is
were
a
2,
trans-
but anyway, 2 different like competition reality shows I watched recently.
There's a direct correlation with how many bugs we would eat to get like 10K and how well the economy's going.
yeah, yeah. Back then
There's
it
something
was like,
there.
But like
They're
dead,
studying it at Harvard right now. Well, this motherfucker ate a tarantula for $5,000.
living or dead though, because that's a huge difference.
Well, that's
I don't know that it's that big of a difference.
For me, it's a huge
That's true.
difference.
I wonder what
no.
the
I wouldn't
flavor
want it
profile-
moving at all.
Flavor profile is what I'm curious about.
Honestly, I bet it's not as bad as you'd think.
I mean,
but
on
that's
Naked
what
and
I'm saying.
Afraid,
it's
they love
all
it.
mental.
Yeah, on Naked and Afraid, they seem to love it when they eat a tarantula or a scorpion.
Really?
They seem to love it, but they're
Do
also
they-
starving to death.
Do
Yeah.
they just kill it and eat it? Or are they like cooking it at all?
Yeah, they cook it. They
I would
just
fry a
like burn
scorpion.
it over a flame. Like if it were dead and cooked, there is way more of a chance than a living like arachnid.
I ate crickets one time, and it was the texture of, when you go in a bag of peanuts and the shell around the peanut, not the hard shell, like the little soft
the little
shell.
red thing.
That's exactly what it felt like.
Crickets.
Hard out.
It was disgusting. I didn't mean to. It was an accident.
I wouldn't even eat oysters based on texture alone.
I'm not an oyster guy, me neither.
I don't like the texture.
Texture doesn't usually bother me, but something about bugs. Like, I've traveled to a bunch of places where that's something that you can get, and I can't. Even ants. That was a big thing in Colombia. They were like,
really?
If you eat these ants, you'll get super horny. And I'm like, I don't think
set.
that's what would happen. I don't think that's what would happen.
Daddy, I'm rock hard right now.
That's what's in the blue chews.
Yeah, exactly. I'm 5 blue chews in. Some dude down the alley just sold me some. I snorted them, bud. You give me ants?
How did you eat a cricket by accident?
I was driving to a casino in California, like a reservation, and we were drunk in the car. And my boy, we stopped at a gas station. My boy got barbecue crickets in a bag, and he's eating them. He's like, "Oh, these are delicious." And I go, "What are you eating?" He was like, "I'm just eating chips." I go, "Let me grab some." And I grab a handful. I put them. I'm like, "Dude, you just saved me like crumbs." I was like, "These chips are all crumbs." And he's like, "They're crickets." And I was like, "You?" And I literally went, put it out of my mouth. But I already digested a couple of them.
And you didn't mind it.
It literally tasted like peanut shells with a barbecue flavor.
It's not terrible.
It was like very brittle. The whole thing just like.
Speaking of Temple of Doom, monkey brain.
Monkey brain.
Do the bugs. That's a nasty scene.
Get them out of my country, all of them.
Get them out.
Before we get into the segments, and I didn't get a chance to speak with you, Josie, before we get into this, so I'm just going to ask you on air if you're okay with talking about this or not, and you can say no.
Okay.
This is before we get into the segment. So last time you were on the show, which was episode 425, for listeners, if you want to go back and check out the episode, a huge story about a traumatic incident that you went through.
Yeah.
Kind of like a freak out. A freak out, is that offensive to say?
Italy, right?
I did freak out.
A freak out abroad.
Yeah.
And
hey, name me abroad that doesn't freak out. There it is. See that on the Metro North.
Now we're surgeon, baby.
Hey.
this is what happens when we put the guys in the same place.
I like it.
They're always freaking out, am I right?
Come on.
So at the end of the story, the way we left off is that you and your boyfriend were not together after the trip.
Correct.
And that you hadn't really discussed anything. You don't know it from his perspective.
Right.
Has that changed?
So I still haven't talked to him, but he has talked to my best friend. My best friend revealed more information about so much more happened than I thought did. I haven't gotten my memories back, but I have I had a consultation with a hypnotist based on your suggestion, and she thinks that it could be something that we uncover. So I'm down to, but I will say this, happy resolution. I am now tumor-free. So it's gone, and I'm back to normal, and
So
I
the
feel
boyfriend
good.
was the tumor?
That's in a way. No, but yeah, so that's gone, and yeah, now I'm back to normal. I feel good.
Can you
Gotta lose the 20 pounds it fucking gave me, but that's beside the point.
You look slimmer than I seen you last
No,
time.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm so much heavier. That just means that was a bad outfit that I was wearing last
Isn't
time.
it the worst when people say, like,
He's
you,
like, you actually
know
look
the
better.
number's going up? You look way better, actually.
Do you feel comfortable with sharing any of the additional information that you found out? Any crazy stuff?
It's more sad than it is fun. I learned, so,
yeah.
I knew that, like, it ended up, I was, like, in the hospital. I went to the hospital twice. I fought police. I didn't know that. I fought, like, 6 Italian cops, which explains a lot of when I came back and I came to, I was, like, covered in bruises. So it explains that.
They gave you a good beating, huh?
But
You leave the country and turn into an African-American male.
what I learned in my time there, and I am Sicilian, Sicilians are the most useless people on the planet. That's all like, every news story that I hear, like, they had no idea where I was. The police were just like, this is just a woman. Sometimes they do these things.
Hysterical. She's hysterical.
Literally, they were like, she's heartbroken. I don't know what to do. And
They
then
call it a hot flash. She got a hot flash.
they were like, this is just a woman. And
Yeah,
so,
give
and
her
that's
some
literally
carbonara.
what they
So
said to my
funny.
best friend, as my best friend's like, no, you need to take, like, she's going to die. She's going to kill herself. Like, you have to get a handle on her. And they were just like, suicide is not a crime in Italy. And she was like, well, do something. Get her. She shouldn't be in your country. And they were like, we cannot. We don't know where she is. They called my dad. I don't know if I said this last time, but, my parents were, like, trying to get me home. And my dad like called the Italian consulate and was like, hey, like we need to try and find her. They called him 3 days after I got back and was like, we do not know where she is. And he was like, she's in the U.S. now. This is... Thank you for nothing. Like
that
it
makes
was
so
just-
much sense.
They were like, "Oh, this is very good."
This is like if they redid The Talented Mr. Ripley with an all-female cast.
It was. I have not seen that movie.
That's a pretty good
But-
reference.
I gotta
watch
You haven't seen this? No. Oh my God! One of the. All right. never
I will
mind.
watch it.
Anybody that knows what I'm talking about. That's a good. That's a good reference. That's a deep ref.
That's a crazy intro to you. I'm not normally psycho, but I did lose my mind when I was over in.
That's what's up.
In
I love that.
Sicily. It wasn't my finest moment,
Sure.
but yeah, now I'm back to normal, so it's all good.
We're all very close to that, and it's good that you had that.
Yeah.
And you have perspective on it.
Yeah.
You feel better about your perspective on it now.
I feel sorry for homeless people more now. Because that
Ooh.
shit's awful.
That's good perspective.
And like Kanye West, I actually feel bad for him. Nobody's helping that guy out.
Well,
I agree.
I didn't-
I actually agree with that.
Here's the thing. I didn't try to attack the Jews, but I did say some fucked up stuff back then. So, thank God I don't have like
What
a million
minority
followers.
people did you go after?
We don't need to talk about that.
I'd love to know.
We don't need to worry about it.
did you suck your cousin's dick?
I didn't suck my cousin's dick.
Were you surging?
I was
Because you can
surging.
excuse it all in front of a judge. Judge, I was actually mid-surge.
Oh, that make all the sense.
When I made the jokes about the Third and Fourth Reich.
Yes.
It was about
Okay.
an hour 20 in. You get it.
to mid-surge.
Give me your best at Joe DeRosa, and then we'll let you go. We'll let you slide.
That's fun. That sounds, scary, but also pretty neat.
It was, but I'm here and we're good now. So
You seem good to me.
yeah,
And,
that's all that
and
matters.
so you did not get back together.
I have not spoken to him. Knowing everything that I know, that sounds like it was traumatic as shit. And I hope that we can speak again in the future to at least just discuss all of that. But I'm not going to rush that process at all because that sounds horrible. And I'm very sad that I put somebody that I care about through that.
I mean, also, I don't know all the details, but grow up, not you, him. It's like you're dude. Have a conversation. Like
You ruined the Italy vacation.
That's tough.
I'm on his
fine.
He
side.
dropped
did
like,
ruin-
3-4 gur?
Right, but
He did ruin the Italy vacation.
But he knows why. Like he knows
Yeah.
that there was a medical reason why. Have a conversation about it.
I
It's
guess
been
so,
months.
I hope that we can have a conversation about it, but I also know like that was traumatic as shit for everyone.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
If you got the medical proof, it's like, hey,
Yeah.
here's my medical proof.
Grow up.
Yeah.
Give me, can we at least discuss
His
this?
medical proof on why I ruined the Amalfi Coast for you.
This is just a photo of your vagina.
Yeah, exactly.
I got us kicked out of 4 separate hotels.
Oh,
I didn't-
really?
I didn't know that, but I learned
Oh.
that. I got kicked out of multiple hotels.
I love it.
That was a problem.
Was there any video? There's a video documentation of any
I
of this?
don't know, and I hope not, but there should have
You're on
been.
Italian news.
There's some
It's
CCTV of
But
you.
apparently that's just what a woman does.
good
That's what I
Philip
want.
woman.
I do like about how crazy it sounds you went, and these old Italian men. It's a woman.
That's literally what they were. Yeah, they were just like, this is just,
She's
women.
slamming her head in a mirror like, ah! It's a woman. She's a Philadelphia Eagle fan. They
She
crazy.
Eagle fan. When was this? Was this before the Super Bowl or after the Super Bowl?
Before.
She's got a
Oh
gun.
well, there's a lot of stress. That playoff run was.
This was back in November.
But
Oh
she's,
well, you guys were you were losing 3 games in a
know.
row.
And it was.
They didn't even have the winning streak yet.
It was intense. I
No,
was
I remember.
nervous.
Oh, I'm on your side.
Is that
Thank
a
you.
good?
I think that is mid-surge, and the Eagles were really scrambling for defense at that point.
Is she taking a dump in the Neptune fountain in Bologna? She's taking it.
She a woman, she Eagles.
Eagles, I think.
That's Jalen Hurts. She hurts Jalen Hurts.
I learned that. So they kept losing me because I'm a runner apparently. Like I just kept wandering off. I was trying to get away.
I see the wide receiver.
I'm a wide receiver. And at one point when my boyfriend found me, I was wandering the streets of Palermo, Sicily, shorts, like biker shorts, like workout shorts on, small shorts, raincoat zipped all the way up. When I took off my raincoat that night, he was like, you had no shirt, no bra, you were
Ooh.
completely
Girls are
naked
out.
under that raincoat, wandering the streets for hours.
That's why the Italian guys are like, it's no problem. Oh, shit.
It's fine. It's no
Let it do
problem.
it. Let it do it.
Is that titty? Oh, I see titty.
She's wearing a Saquon Barkley bracelet.
Yeah.
She'll be fine.
It's so now I was not a huge, I'm not a huge sports fan, but like living in Philly, you just kind of become part of that because it's such a
Yeah,
big
you
part
have
of the
to.
culture.
Yeah.
So when I got back and I had to go to the mental hospital. I don't remember any of that, but there's the one thing that I remember before everything started clicking again, was that I was like in the psychiatric unit of the hospital, and there was a security guard right outside of my room, and he was watching the Eagles game, and it was when Saquon Barkley did that backwards hurdle over that dude, and so all I heard was just the whatever he was watching it on going, Saquon Barkley, and the only thing I remember is being in the bed going, Saquon Barkley, and so now I have a picture of that moment, like when he did the hurdle, hanging in my room, because I was like, that was my first moment of lucidity. That was
It does
nice.
sound like this mental break sparked the Super Bowl run, though. I hope you
think-
know that. Like that
I
was
think I'm
like that.
responsible
This
for it,
season
yeah.
changed on
Because
that.
of me.
It's something to
Yes.
hold on to.
I know.
I also like the fact that you feel like if in Italy this is just people are like, oh, she hysterical. If that happened in Philly, they'd be like, oh, Eagles lost.
Yeah.
they wouldn't put you into psych ward there either.
I passed-
They lost by fucking 2 touchdowns. What do you think she's doing?
She'll find her way home eventually. She'll find her fucking way
Fucking
home.
right away home.
She'll find her way
I'm
home.
obsessed. I don't know if y'all saw it, but the lady that got in the road rage incident and took a shit on that guy's car,
We covered it the other day.
beautiful. I loved it.
Is it
Every
beautiful?
moment.
It was Delco.
It's gorgeous.
Oh, is
She's
it
a
Delco?
crazy
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I've never rooted
The
for a
Delco
person
diarrhea
harder in
incident.
my life.
I'm sorry, you're pro Dookie on the
I'm
hood.
pro Dookie
What do
on
you-
the hood
all right.
so much.
Can you
What do
find the video,
Do you
Harrington?
think she was already enraged because it was like road rage that led to her shitting on this car, right?
Yeah.
I
What-
also what I also saw, because we didn't cover this on the show the
Yeah.
other day. By the way, Lewis and Zach and Miko's Morning
Yeah.
Zoo.
Yeah.
Michael was on the other day.
Yeah.
And what we didn't cover was that she did say that the other driver called her a fat bitch.
Wow, join the club.
That's
Delaware County. What the fuck are we talking about?
Jorge, how many of those are in the comments right now? in our live?
I know, right?
I'm 100% on her side even more now. Like that, yeah, 100. If somebody calls you a fat bitch, shit on their white car.
Well, do you think she was also imagine having to shit that bad and then being called a fat bitch? Then you're already
Yeah.
boiling with like, yo, I got this thing stewing.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
it's better than a gun. It's better than shooting someone.
True.
And
I
it
think I might.
sends a
I think I'd rather be
message.
shot.
Has there ever been a moment of like severe rage in your life where you're like, the first idea that comes to your mind is pull your pants down and poop on something?
No, because I'm not a true artist, but that woman is.
She, I think, is a mentally ill person, because even though I'm sorry, Allie Mae did say that this has come to her mind before, but
She did say that,
yes,
yeah.
But
Well, she's also
yeah.
openly mentally
It's
ill.
also Allie Mae.
Yeah.
I love Allie Mae.
Yeah. So it's that type of person that poops on somebody's car.
If this happened in Italy, she a woman.
That's okay.
She's just a woman. It's okay.
You just wipe it with a hose.
I don't like seeing the dookie.
Oh, she squirted on it.
Yeah.
It's so liquid.
Oh my god.
And here's the thing, I don't know the backstory
She had a little too much magnesium.
of like I don't know
That's her.
how long.
Tell us what
That's when they arrested
The
her.
lady chased me. She chased me, and I asked her not to attack me.
Easter.
What'd you eat that day?
I have a sickness.
You said she chased you?
Yeah, she chased me,
Oh, she's got a dirty ass.
and I
now.
got out and begged her to stop.
I'll tell you straight up, that's
Okay.
Crohn's disease.
Maybe, yeah,
is what that
IBS.
is.
Yeah. So okay. Still,
Colitis, maybe.
and she
Can I see just the poop part one more time?
I don't want to see that.
she also did say afterwards that it was such a clean poop that she didn't need to wipe, which is literally impossible.
Impossible.
That
You
was
can't have liquid
that was
poop and
liquid
not have
shit.
to
Her
wipe.
asshole sneezed on that car.
She's in white shorts.
Yeah, there's dookie all over that hiney.
That looks like the base ingredient for Mexican pizza.
Yeah, that's that's refried bean with a little jalapeno
my
salsa.
God.
It looks like a baby shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks, Gerber's.
yeah. It looks like apricot. Gerber. It looks like sweet potato baby food.
She's giggling as she's being arrested. She's not okay.
No, she's
No.
totally
She's going through it.
she's totally mentally ill.
She's an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
That's Delco's
She's
standard.
mid-surge Eagles fan.
And a woman. She's
And a woman. She's a woman.
Would I ever do it? No, I don't think I have the balls, but I respect her. I respect her for doing it.
I would love if the more we learn about your breakdown in Italy, the final thing we find out is you did shit on somebody's
If
car.
I get hypnosis and it's all the memories are just me taking shits all over the country,
Yeah,
I'll be a little upset.
That would be wild. The Italians just let that slide.
The Florence enforcer is known as diarrhea now. That's crazy.
All right, we are going to move over to our segments now. So typically, Michael, the first question we ask new guests on the show is if you could tell us a story about either your worst date experience or weirdest sexual experience.
I had a tough one. I failed a threesome that was such an easy layup one time, and it was a tough day for your boy. Tough night, I should say. But I was in. I came up in comedy in Phoenix. Went to Arizona State. Go Devils. Which is very white of me. I apologize. Go Devils. I'll fucking run through a wall for that running back. Go scatter.
Go Dogs.
Go
fucking Devils.
So then I started comedy in Phoenix. I was there for a long time. And I had a chick that I would hook up with pretty consistently. Nothing like, weren't dating or anything, but just one of those women that was a fan of me. Nice. Late night.
Would she
nice
say
little desert slut?
Little desert dog. Yeah,
little scorpion.
Would she say you were dating?
You know, that's no.
Okay.
Yeah, she wouldn't have. And so she was out one night, and it was one of those like I was probably kind of fading a little bit. I remember just not being that into the evening, but I texted her late and I was like, "Where you at?" She was like, "Let's meet at this bar." And her friend ended up coming to that bar. And so the chick that I'm talking about was also, she worked at a strip club, but she wasn't a stripper. She was one of the, she didn't, she lacked confidence in her body to get on there, which she shouldn't have. But, it's a confidence thing getting up there. But her friend came, and she worked at the strip club with her, stripper. They pretty quickly start, within like the first 5 minutes, I'm saying, "Hey, I'm Michael." Then they're like making out pretty quick. And I'm like, this is an interesting turn in the evening. But also at that point, I'm thinking like they're just going to go home. Fast forward a couple minutes, and she's like, "Hey, can we go back to your place?" The chick that I've been hooking up with. And I was like, 100%. And so we get into the Uber, and I remember this is my first mess up in the whole process. Because I don't know. I'm like, this is exciting. I've never done a threesome. This is the closest I ever got. And they're in the back seat, and I'm trying to be a gentleman. And I go front seat. That was a misstep.
Oh, no.
I should have been like middle back seat. Mm-hmm. And then during the whole Uber home, we're going south on Scottsdale Road. I'm looking back, and they're like going to town. Now they're making out. And then I'm like, now the pressure's on. I'm trying to figure out what to play. I'm saying, "Dude, you got any Too Short?" You know what I'm saying? Like maybe something.
Yeah.
The Uber driver, and these girls are like going at it, like leaning forward, kind of messing with his elbow when he's trying to drive. I'm also like, again, being too gentlemanly. Sometimes you got to be a savage in these situations, not like uncomfortably, but be a firm foot forward to what you want.
Is he like watching in the rearview mirror?
I'm also like, he's getting his elbow hit by these girls making out and topless in the back, and I'm like, this is a lot of pressure on me. Secondly, I look at him, I'm like, dude, my bad if they're. I remember him looking at me. He's like, "Do not apologize."
It's the best night of my life.
He's like, "This is the best fucking thing."
He was like, "Can you take the wheel?"
Yeah, exactly. And we go back. We get dropped
So
off.
he gets in the back.
Yeah, exactly. He ends up pounding both of them. I just watched.
You picked up another drive.
Yeah, exactly. I've been Ubering ever since. And we get back to the spot, and I remember him and I have this thing where he's like sending me off. He's like, "Dude, this is gonna be cool for you." And we get back in the room. They're still. So then I'm playing like, what's the thing? Double Dutch. You got to get in the. And then because they're still hooking up, they're back in my room. I'm like kind of the odd dude observing, trying to get in there, but I'm also at a point where, so this is where the context of it matters. This is also 2019, and the Me Too movement is humming. And I'm so arrogant in my career and where my comedy career is going. I'm like, I'm gonna be somebody someday. I gotta. Also, just anybody should be asking for consent.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't know the other girl. And
you're standing at the bed with like
I'm like,
with a piece of paper,
like clipboard,
and
yeah.
so,
waiting like a clipboard. Yeah.
Like they're looking at me like, "You too?" I'm like, "Me too?" No, not me too. And like,
Slide right here.
I needed to hear from this girl that she was like okay with what's going on. And then I realized that she was fucked. She was pretty fucked up. Fucked up enough where like not just like drunk. She was like probably on some drugs at that point where I'm like, all right, now I got to weigh this whole thing.
Yeah.
And it was tough. And then so I blame the Me Too movement for me not being able to have a threesome, because then there was I was trying to wait for confirmation to get in. And then it escalates to a point where she was on drugs enough where, that moment where we've all probably partaken before, where you were a little fucked up, where then she kind of came to and she's at somebody else's house and this dude's watching her and her friend make out on the floor. And then I remember she looked, and then the energy was completely off. And then she's like, what the fuck is going on? Who's this guy? And then I'm just babysitting some chick that's tripping on E on my couch. And I'm trying to be like, I'm Mike. I put out. I'm a good guy. I have some water if you want. And pretty much that was a tough one. But that was it.
The whole
did the right
time
thing.
this is happening, so you said they're making out on the floor. Is that what
Yeah.
you said? And so you're like sitting on the couch.
I got a carpeted bedroom. It escalated quickly. Yeah, I was on my bed.
So you're just on the edge of the bed.
On
like,
the edge of the bed in my I remember these orange Hanes undies that I had,
Shirt or no shirt?
no shirt.
Nice.
Tough look for your boy.
Tough.
So they're also looking up.
You look like
this isn't
you look
great.
like an orange
This
Tootsie
is
Pop.
100%.
You know
It was
the
like
orange-
creamsicle orange shit too. I was like, when I bought them, I'm like, this is gonna be good. Didn't put them on thinking
You're
I'd
on the
be
bed like a push
fully
pop?
vulnerable. Yeah, Jesus, looking like a creamsicle.
Looking like a senator who's
I'm
about to
looking
get
like
blackmailed.
Yeah, I'm looking like a backup kicker for the Tampa Bay Bucks in the 70s. And it is tough, dude. Vinny Testaverde's backup. Just like, you guys promised I could be in this. And it's just
Signed Devil's jersey.
And then I'm like, I can't fuck this up. And I remember the girl was like, you really, like, because the other girl goes to the bathroom and because then she's on drugs and you're like trying to be like, drink some water, whatever. And I remember the other chick that I was cool with, she was like, you really fucked this up? I was like, I don't know. I'm trying to be a good person, dude.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I would have loved to get Harvey
Damn.
Weinstein.
Should have got Harvey.
I
Should
don't.
have got Harvey.
I don't think this is your fault. Here's two reasons.
I respect you.
Yeah, I respect you.
I could have been
It's a
more.
little embarrassing, but I respect you.
The boys were disappointed.
Two
by
different
Hannah.
things. First thing is the fact that she was fucked up and at some point was like disoriented, wasn't sure where she was. That's a check in your column, thank God, because something bad could have happened, something in the Me Too-ish area.
Yes.
But also, I feel like typically when girls are trying to make a threesome happen, they're going to make it really clear and they're just going to like start involving you.
My girl did more so, but the other girl, yeah, it wasn't. Again, you're trying to build rapport when they're just going to town in the back of an Uber.
I think you're right that like you being in the front of the Uber.
Changed the whole
Yes.
vibe.
If you had been in the middle,
100%.
You would have been like this.
100%.
And then you could have just been like.
Yeah.
You could have fucking massaged.
100%.
Yep.
You know, press the buttons.
That was
would've
the
been your
big.
way
That was a
in.
huge misstep.
Yeah.
instead you were in the
Yeah.
front like, I'm so sorry for the behavior.
Yeah.
Is this a lightning cable or a USB?
I look at him. I'm like, the women. They're surging. You
He's
know,
like, I don't mind, I don't
hysterical.
mind.
She
Your
got
Uber
the
dri-
diarrhea.
Your Uber driver's just like, stop apologizing,
I
you
know.
fucking pussy.
Yes, 100%. He was so disappointed in me. I remember also the next day, it was funny. I found these girls, they ended up leaving. I remember like there was last ditch effort. I was
They
trying
stood
to
at
like.
your house. They stood there.
So they were there, and I offered like you guys could. Yeah, they were there till like this was like 2:30. We're back at my spot. This probably went on to like 5 or something. And I remember my last ditch effort was laying in the bed. Like I remember just let's turn a movie on. I think I freaked out. Went with like Doctor Strange. I'm like that's not the move. What are we doing?
Are you like in between the two of them in the bed?
Yeah, I don't remember this at that point, but it was tough.
Orange undies, and there's a guy on the screen
I
going
just like this, and I can't figure out what to do. Yeah.
like-
And a heavyset Asian man, like, come this way, Mr. Strange. It was tough. But the next day, I remember the funniest thing was there was because these girls were like topless making out in the back of this Uber back to the spot, and this Uber driver, there was a note on my door that was like, hey, big guy.
Thank you.
Thought you had hope you had a great night. Blah blah blah. One of them left this shirt in the car, and so the Uber driver like sent me this awesome like hype
Wow.
note, and he thinks that I had the greatest night of my life, and I think that's nice that exists in the universe. That this man was like, dude, I dropped the guy home. He couldn't have fucked this up.
He had a better night than you did.
100%. He probably beat off to the
He
idea
was
of
like,
it.
this was great, good for him. He's living
100%.
vicariously through you.
100%.
He probably he tells
probably
that
tells
story.
that story.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
There's no way this guy was watching Doctor Strange.
He couldn't have fucked this up.
Multiverse.
He wouldn't have gone into the Marvel universe and fucked this up, would he?
He got pussy.
If he did, Avengers at least, right?
Endgame, maybe. Poor guy.
Have
That was
you-
tough.
Was that your only opportunity for a threesome?
I had
Have
one,
you had a redemption?
not since the early 20s. I think I had one where I was probably too like aggressive with it, and I remember they were like, "Yeah, we're out on this." Not like inappropriately aggressive, but I was like,
So you overcorrected.
you know what I did?
I
You know
like
what I
how
did?
the whole first story was like, I didn't want to be crazy.
No, I think I
Did you have another
overcorrected.
story? Yeah, one time I was like really rough.
No, 100%. But
That means the next one is your Goldilocks.
I'm in between.
You're gonna get there.
Also, you know what I think about the first time? I remember there's two girls, and one was like clearly the more attractive of the two, and I tried to make out with her first, but the move would have been to make out with the other girl first. I remember thinking that, and build rapport that way, and
Yeah.
You're
now I'm
getting
in
there,
a
Michael.
nice. No, I'm in a nice committed relationship. I don't think we might. I don't know if she's into. I don't think.
Not after hearing this story.
Oh, I've told her.
You
She
could
called
be
me a
his
pussy.
Goldilocks. You could be his Goldilocks.
Oh yeah. Oh, we get eyes sometimes. I know women would like to sleep with my girlfriend, which is nice. So we'll see. We'll keep that open.
Yeah, keep it open.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
I'm rooting for you.
Yeah.
All right, Josie. So on the show in the past, you've talked about, on the last episode, you talked about you were hanging with Lemaire and then some projectile vomiting.
Oh, yeah.
That was a bad date. That's the high level of it.
It was a really good night, even with throwing up all over that person's bathroom.
Something of blueberry something. I feel like blueberry were involved.
empanadas
Yeah.
and like Texas barbecue and 5 shots of tequila and a
shit.
lot of weed. That's you
Blueberry
were late.
empanadas.
It was so good. It's like blueberry and white chocolate.
He wouldn't have remembered it.
Lemaire comic, right? I think I know.
Okay,
Lemaire,
I
right?
need to
Yeah.
preface. I was not fucking Lemaire. I was hanging out
Sorry.
with Lemaire, and
I was
we were
having a threesome with
and-
Lemaire.
My
and
fault.
we were eating
You
like
missed
animals.
out. You missed out.
Lemaire's
on
eating
good
me out, fucking
No.
some other broad.
Nope. And then
You missed out
we
on
were
prime
Lemaire and
dick.
we went and ate food and like just ate like gluttons, like just disgusting animals. And then I went and had sex with someone else entirely.
That's a nice night.
And then I threw up all over their bathroom immediately after sex.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It was not a great, but it was still a nice night anyway. And then we banged
Did you
the
come?
next. Yeah.
Oh,
So it was good. So it was
yeah.
good. It was
You know-
good.
You got what you wanted.
Yeah.
You are Philly Barbie.
Thank you so much.
That's what you are. You're Philly Barbie. Like it's all outside is beautiful, perfect.
That's
but
so
then
nice
you
of you to
take
say.
so
you
kind.
take the Barbie out, it just throws up and fights police officers and fucks up the vacation.
Philly
Poops on
Barbie.
I got
cars.
assist. I got all these different things. You're just Philly Barbie. I love it. I love it. That's your first comedy album, Philly Barbie.
I'm good with
Philly
it.
Barbie.
Thank you.
Do you have another bad date story?
I do. We can go anytime I'm here. We'll just go
That's
to the
one
well.
of the buttons if you pull the
you
string.
have 'em?
I have so many. I have not. I'll say this. I have not been on an actual date like since everything that happened. I'm taking a break from dating for right now. But before
So mature.
I was with my guy, like back when I was in my early 20s and in college, I was on dating apps like to a degree that like I shouldn't have been on them for that much of my time. Like people get addicted to TikTok. I was
normal, though.
addicted to dating apps. So I went on a ton of bad dates. But the one that I remember that came to me this week, I didn't meet him on Tinder, is embarrassing. I never stopped playing Pokemon Go. Like I was from 2016 all the way until like 2024. I was playing.
You were
Pokemon
playing it from
Go.
Trump to Biden to
Yeah.
Trump again? Jesus Christ.
3 straight presidential
fucking
elections.
3 terms.
I've been playing. So
You didn't get them all yet?
I haven't gotten them all yet. They keep releasing new ones. I didn't even know there was that many.
You know they use people just to like blueprint apartments and stuff.
Well, they've seen so much
They're
of
still
my
using
apartment.
her. They're like, we still have Josie. She does such a good job.
I'm geocaching for the whole world.
Yeah.
I met this guy in a Pokemon Go Facebook group.
Oh my God.
And we were not. When I met him, I was like 70 pounds heavier, and I was just like, I was trying to get this one Pokemon. And
Hold on. So not only are you playing Pokemon Go, but you're in a Facebook group about it.
I'm actively going to
discussing it.
meetups.
That-
And Lemaire Lee is in that Facebook group.
Yeah, 100%. Did you say heavy set white women? Yeah. Lemaire's in there.
I'm
Snorlax over here.
actively going to like meetups. This was when I was living in Baltimore.
Oh
And
my
so-
God. This is getting sadder. This is when I was living in Baltimore. It's even another level of depression.
This is why they thought she was crazy in Italy. They're like, the game has been, it hasn't had an update.
She
since
done a
20
Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
She done a Pokemon Go. She crazy.
They made
She
the new
Eagles
one
fan.
already. There's a new one already. What are you doing?
So I had like met this person months prior to this. He like gave me a couple Pokemon that I needed, and then like we would, we just kind of ran in the same circle when we would play the game. And but he was really into me, and he made that kind of apparent. And I was like, I'm not. I'm good.
Yeah.
I turned down those advances, but we still hung out.
I have to ask. I'm sorry. I need to know like what does a guy look like that is in this circle?
I'll say this.
Unkept.
He was yes. He was
Look
more
across the table, Shannon.
No, you
look in the booth.
Oh yeah. These guys in here.
He was more attractive than most.
Oh my god.
Because a lot of time you see a lot of wheelchairs in Pokemon Go circles.
Wheelchairs.
A lot of people who have eaten themselves out of mobility. Yeah, that's where you
A
end
lot
up.
of Malcolm in the Middle kids. The
lot
fucking
of
how to get out.
yeah.
Talk like this.
Ugh.
It's usually either like ancient looking Asian people
Yeah.
with 9 phones, and I'm not exaggerating, and like a device so that they can tap all of them at once, or the fattest people you've ever met in your life.
Type of guys look like they like their porn animated and blurry.
Yes,
That's right.
Yes,
You know
and
what I
he
mean?
did.
Hell yeah.
But so he was like the most attractive out of that, but still not like
Yeah.
a 3.
like someone you'd see at Skankfest.
A 3 is tough.
Okay, but here's the
Worse?
thing.
On a Sunday.
A
Sunday show.
somebody you would see at Skankfest, except the super left-wing liberal version of that.
That doesn't exist.
That's what plays Pokemon Go
Okay.
and like goes to like events.
Okay.
So that he was that, and he, so we would hang out quite a bit and play this game, and then February of 2019.
Oof.
My cat died, and it was so sad. That was my baby, and it was like this horrible, just depressing like scenario that she died. I was heartbroken, and everybody in my fucking life was busy that night, and I had to be with a friend. So I texted everybody, but nobody was around. My best friend was living in San Diego at the time. My other best friend was living in Phoenix, Arizona. So like I didn't have like my
Might have been the stripper broad. I failed the threesome.
could have been.
Come on.
But yeah, so I was
the
like,
highlighter.
I need a buddy right now. So I finally reached out to him, went way down in the Rolodex, reached out to him. We hung out. I went to his place. Have you ever been, and maybe you haven't been, because you are a very chaste woman, but have you...
Chaste does mean not having sex.
Yes. Yeah. Have you ever been in a situation where you're just emotionally vulnerable and you're like, I guess I'll just go along with whatever the fuck this is?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's that. So I'm like crying, and he's like,
Women.
I'll put on a movie.
That's crazy.
I know.
This is how y'all die. This is the first 20 minutes of an episode of You. What is going on?
This is also how you guys get laid.
Yeah.
That's why he survived 6 seasons.
Dude, that guy, I
How
know.
is he not
How is he
dying?
not dead? They just released a new one.
I finished it. I binged it.
I haven't seen it
My
yet.
girls watch it. Is it good?
Okay. It's I don't wanna
Okay, all right, go on.
I'm
Yeah,
almost
go on.
done.
You're in the depressed. You're
so
in Baltimore.
I'm sad.
Q1 2019. Dead cat. Just letting some Pokemon go, dude. Invite you to the home. You're in the home.
Terrifying.
That's crazy.
is
Man.
it
You
a-
got to go public place.
Is it a basement?
Go to Fed Hill. Go somewhere with people walking around. Are you
Philly
kidding me?
Barbie.
Oh,
The low price of $29.99 to get your Philly Barbie. She'll go in the basement with you.
You're not gonna find any Pokemons in the
Barbie.
basement.
He wasn't in the basement. He was second floor. Okay.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
So
This is scarier than anything I've seen in The Wire.
So he's like, let's just cuddle, and that should have been a thing where I was like, yeah, I should leave.
No roommates.
No roommates. He has 2 cats. I like his 2
What's
cats.
the
So it was-
smell? What's the smell of the apartment? Pretty bad, right?
No,
cats
it
could be
smelled like the Asian section of a food, of like a grocery store. He wasn't Asian, but it smelled like an
I actually
ethnic
like
grocery
that.
store. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it.
I'm dating an Asian broad, so I kind of got a
There you
hankering
go.
for it.
I
Yeah.
don't love it.
Yeah,
I don't love
it
it,
shouldn't
but I didn't
smell like
hate
that
it.
in a home.
No.
Gao Go
Shouldn't
Jing. Did it smell like fucking... I don't know what that spice is called.
Jesus, you went Gao Go Jing. I don't know why that sounds just so racist.
It's not right, isn't it? Gochujang.
Gochujang. Sorry.
Gao Go Jang.
What
What is
fucking
it?
smell
The
like fucking kimchi?
What we got? The
Fuck,
kimchi Go Jangs.
Fuck out of here.
Oh my God. Bung Ho Chu.
Get Guido
What are you
Ken.
directing Parasite? What's going on?
So it's not the romantic smell. But so we're cuddling in his bed. My shirt's off. He pulls his dick out at one point, and
Ooh.
I'm like,
cool.
Unprompted?
yeah, like he's
Yeah.
like, and I'm like, I'm literally
What's he
like,
packing? Not bad. Not bad. Better than expected.
No.
It was not.
It had to be
was
sad.
not anything special, but he thought it was. He was like, I know, because here's the thing. He was, I guess he was mixed, and he was like, I know you've never been with a mixed guy before, and I was like, this is not what I expected it
This guy's
to look
stealing my
like.
line.
Yeah,
This guy stole my
I've
line.
got a mixed bag of emotions right now going on.
And he was like, what's like, and I'm remembering this, and I'm like, I know I kept saying like that I was so sad about my cat, like as this is going on, like
Yeah.
this was so, and I'm like,
I'm here to find that pussy.
and I'm like, I'm just like, whatever.
That pussy's alive. I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
heard your cat died. Well, I'm here to kill one more pussy tonight. Come on.
And I'm just like, this is whatever. We're fucking here. I don't care. Life is meaningless. I hate this. And then he's like, all right, 1 minute. And here's the thing. I probably would have blown him, maybe fucked him. I don't know. Because I was that depressed. And I just, at this point, I'm like, I want to get out of here. He goes to his closet and he grabs a backpack.
Oh, no.
And he pulls out a Hitachi wand. Now, I am not a toy person.
It's a good guy.
But I'm not. And so
He
I
cares
was like,
about you. He cares
Isn't
about
this the
you.
thing
Well,
that you can
Aren't they also expensive?
well, I was like,
like a vibrator,
oh, no.
right?
Yeah,
It's
but
the
it's
one
like
you-
one
it's
of
a
the
motor.
expensive
It's like
ones.
a boat
With
motor.
the thing at
You
the end,
plug
right?
it into
Yeah,
the
you
wall.
plug it into the wall.
Plug it in,
Okay.
yeah.
That's personally not my thing. So, and I saw that and I was like, whoa. And I was like, I'm good. And then he was like, no, this is for me. And he was like, I want you to and I was like, what?
Pokemon, gotta catch them all.
And so he was like, yeah, I want you to suck my dick and then push this against my taint as hard as you fucking
This guy does
Oh,
what he's doing.
honestly, I'm back in on this guy. You got a man that knows what he wants.
He wants to be the very best.
I'm in on this guy. All right.
Jorge just
Jorge knows. Jorge
He's
knows
turning the
vibes.
TV off.
Jorge
just a
loves
little.
it.
My boy wanted to come so
He
hard.
wanted to come so hard.
He just wanted to end up in
and
Azkaban.
I was like, that shot me back to reality, and I'm like, I don't think I can do that. And then he was like, whatever, and he just jerked off in front of me.
I knew he was gonna jerk off.
Yeah,
He
it
just
always happens.
and
So you
used
would
the
have
fucking
blown
thing
him,
on
though.
himself. I was depressed enough, and yeah, I think I probably would have. I think zero.
Would you have? All right, if you were
21 years
mid,
old,
if you're
zero self-esteem,
and you were mid blower,
depressed.
would you have? If he would have brought that up mid blower?
No, not for
He would have
him.
lifted his legs.
Here's the thing.
legs
Again,
behind his head. You wanted to give him a little shock.
all right, I'll say this. I shouldn't say this, but I'll say this.
Good question.
Would you like
I
another
had-
one?
Question. Yeah.
Mikey, would you like one more?
I'm good right now.
I was 21, very sexually inexperienced at this point, and I'm not into this guy.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would have done it with him. However, I have been in a situation where I've hooked up with somebody that I'm interested in. I'll say hook up. I invited them over, and the entire thing just turned into me eating their ass because they pulled their legs up like
Guys,
that.
we're gonna do a quick break.
And
We're
that's
gonna
a
talk
quick
about our
break.
sponsor, Yo Kratom. We'll be right back.
And a bidet named Tushy. That's crazy.
And we're back.
That's
So,
Back. This episode is brought to you by Philly Barbie. Somehow not black, just as problematic.
Here's the thing.
optional Hitachi included.
I'm not even. It's so funny because like on stage when I do stand up, I never talk about sex. I'm not that crass of a person, and then I come here and I'm
sound
like,
like
let
you
me
got an
tell you,
hour.
let me tell you about the asses I've eaten.
This isn't a bad hour. There's some stuff going on
There's
there.
a lot that's happened.
Yeah.
Like I said, we can go to the well anytime you guys have me
Kicked
back.
out in
We'll just
Italy.
pull it
That's
out.
crazy. You have others beyond this night.
She's told that this is her 4th time on the show.
I was
so we've
reaching
gone
for
through
that. I
a
was like, I
bunch.
failed a threesome one time. She's-
NBA stars fly out women to eat their asses. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hope
yeah.
you gotta
That's
get.
true.
You need to figure it out. You gotta tell your manager something.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Also, this guy, I mean, this doesn't even need to be said, but this guy,
Knows how to come.
This guy
This guy knows how to come. I respect that. It took me a while to figure out how to come.
but he,
Come on now.
not that I'm expecting for somebody like this to pick up on social cues, et cetera, but he knows you're mourning.
Yeah.
You're already snuggling. If he would have done like literally anything for you, he could have probably gotten what he wanted out of this.
Yeah.
But he's just like,
Possibly.
oh, we're snuggling. Let me take
Hold
out the
on.
heavy machinery.
Yeah,
From
that was
snuggle to Hitachi.
He was
is
in,
wild.
he was like openly kind
He's
of
like
a piece
rolling
of shit.
rolling it out.
Yeah.
from the closet.
That's like stealing home base right there. That's crazy.
Terrifying.
The confidence to pull out your fucking Hitachi wand on a woman that has rejected you 7 times is crazy.
How heavy set is this guy? This guy's
He wasn't,
disheveled, right?
he wasn't actually that heavy. He was
He was just like unkept, like a Pokemon Go looking motherfucker.
Again, he was the best. Like out of a Pokemon Go tribe, 9 or a 10. But that is it's the bottom of the barrel. It's not like I would come around to those events and people would have asthma attacks. Yeah. Like it was.
That's why you got the hottest one of them.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah,
so how do you
just one of these guys.
How do you get yourself out of the situation?
I literally after he came, I was just like, "What am I doing?"
Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible 3, just run.
She is a runner. We know she's a runner.
I should have run at that point, but literally, it just in that moment, I was like, "I need to I need to go home.
I gotta return some videotapes.
This is worse than just being alone in my bed and crying." And so I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna leave." And he was like, "Okay, cool, just lock up on your way out." I was like, "Yep." And then
I'm in on this guy.
I just left.
Yeah, that plugs in.
He has a daughter now.
Okay, get out of here. Daddy's got to come.
Lights go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the power outage.
That was a joke. Yeah. Thank you.
Get a little.
Thanks for the assist.
That's crazy. That's great you had that in the bag. My next one was going to be like a bad date at Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. I was embarrassed to say. That was never going to work. Wow.
Wow, Josie.
Yeah.
Hitachi.
Did you ever speak to him again?
I congratulated him on the birth of his child a few years later.
Oh, he found the Hitachi
So I was
queen.
Like, and here's how he responded. I was like, "Hey, saw you had a baby. Congratulations. That's great, man." And this is like 4 years after the fact. Like, time has gone by. I'm like, maybe he's grown as a person. And he goes, "Thanks. Yeah, it's the only time I realized that there's actually consequences to sex. LOL." And I'm like, that's a crazy way to talk about your fucking daughter, you weirdo. Yeah. Never mind.
Sounds like a guy who plays Pokemon Go.
Never mind.
Maybe it's the first time he actually had penetration, actually had sex instead of just.
I don't fucking know.
The thing.
Dude.
Instead of fucking.
Wow, Josie. Josie, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm here. Everything's fine now. I'm here.
I'll tell you what, he would have never taken it to Italy.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
They would. Is they have to find the little thingamajig.
That's true. Are there Pokemon in Italy?
Yeah. There are region-specific Pokemon in Italy. There are.
Were you seeking them out in Italy? Tell us the truth.
I got a couple.
It could have been the Italian guy. It's the Charizard. He a wide receiver for the Eagles.
I'll say that one of the reasons
She's
that
looking for Electrobuzz.
One of the reasons that I really kind of halted the playing was my boyfriend. So we were together 4.5 years, and we went to he worked remotely too. So whenever I would travel, he would just come with me. So we went to 25 countries together, and he it was getting to the point where he had to pull me aside, and he's like, "Hey, it's fine that you like this game. When we are trying to have a romantic beach walk alone in Brazil, I need you to not be catching Pokemon on your phone." And I was like, that's fair. So I limited how often I was doing that.
Pokemon Go in Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yes. Yeah.
Crazy.
I probably get your steps in a lot by playing Pokemon Go.
I love it. And that's the other thing is I love walking around.
Yeah,
I love to just meander.
When it first came out, do you remember
I'm
the
thinking
craziness?
about downloading it.
It does still exist, and it's gotten so much better since 2016. It's so fun.
I didn't even know it was a thing until you just brought it up. I knew it was a thing, but I didn't know it was still a thing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I used to work in a restaurant in the plaza, and I would hang out with one of the doormen there, bring him food, and he would give me cigarettes. It wasn't a gay relationship. I'm straight, but anyways, we would hang out, and I would.
Elton John was married to a woman for a couple years, but
we would see at Central Park. We would see hordes of people playing when it first came out.
Yep. Hordes
in the middle of the street, taxi cabs. Central Park was fucking filled with people playing that shit. It's crazy.
It's great.
Meanwhile, the whole time it was just China getting a lot of information.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: if China wants any of I'm an open book. They can just have my information. Clearly, I'll say anything.
You showed it to Italy already.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on to our next segment, which is bad things.
Bad things with you.
This is Bad Things, part of our show. We talk about fight stories, physical altercations. If you've been in more than one, then the most memorable fight you've been in. Michael, have you been in a fight?
I'm not a big fighter, but I have been within a fight. The one that came to mind just based on comedy was there was a D room in Scottsdale when I was coming up, and it was attached to a restaurant that was attached to a hotel. You know how comedy is. Just a shitty room. Honestly, a fun room. One of those rooms where you'd go, it was at 8 and at 10 o'clock. There might be 8 to 12 people in there, but you figure out what the fuck, how you make these people laugh, right? So it's one of those shitty ass shows, and it was one of those shows where you're a young comic, and I don't know if it was me or somebody else on the show, but like we went at these two guys that were sitting in there, probably a little too hard. They were pretty drunk and they were disruptive, so you just kind of crowd work them in the way that you can be kind of an asshole. Also, as a young comic, you probably cross some lines you don't need to. And so there was also a patio outside the room. Afterwards, all the comics would hang out on the patio. And these guys, I remember they pulled up, and we're all just comic circle bullshitting. And it was like 3-4 of us. Good dude. Actually, Jimmy Petrogallo was there. If you know that podcast, what is it? He's got Small Town Murder. You ever heard of this?
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's one.
Yeah.
It's a very, now he's like popping.
Yeah.
He doesn't text me back anymore. But back then, we were just doing fucking D rooms in Scottsdale. And Marcellino, my boy Boog, it was a couple of dudes. We were all bullshitting. These two dudes roll up.
Did you say Marcellino?
Josie Marcellino?
No. His first name was Marcellino.
That's wild. That is my last name.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I
I didn't think about that.
Wait.
Black dude named Marcellino.
He's like, this girl's there playing Pokemon Go.
You know what I'm saying? This broad's over there playing Pokemon. She's hysterical. The Eagles had just lost, so we got it. But so we are all chilling out there as comics do post-show, and these dudes pull up, and they were faded. And so faded that, just when people are so drunk that you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what's their angle here? Because they clearly wanted to either, I don't know, they were acting like we didn't piss them off during the show, but clearly one of them was like pissed off. And I remember they were at that point where you're so drunk that it doesn't matter. They're just going to fucking start a fight somehow. But they also were calm for like 5 minutes. But we all were like kind of clocking it, like this is gonna go left somehow. And it was a patio where we couldn't. They were blocking the door, so none of us could get out of there.
Are they like interacting with you guys?
So they come into the circle, and we were balls deep in a conversation about. I always remember it was about House Party. Like we were like comparing House Party 1 and 2, Kid and Play's run in the early '90s. Great films. I don't know if you're familiar, but really just
I'm
high
100.
art. Yeah, I'm 38. Yeah, so it's like important stuff. And we're like breaking down House Party. And I remember the way that they escalated to like be combative was their take on House Party was like
gay.
It was crazy. But like it was also like it got so disruptive where then we're all on guard, and it was a patio that was not ideal for the fight, and it was like a patio with table, like 5 metal chairs and shit like that. It escalated so quickly. The House Party thing went from, also we were comics, so we're like, this is a hilarious thing to have an opinion on this firmly, and it went from like, fuck you, I like House Party 2 more than House Party 1, and then straight into a right hook. And it was like melee that I'd never experienced in my life on this little patio, and there's like 7 of us. People were grabbing chairs and shit like that. And luckily I didn't get hit. I also, like, I'm of the people there, I'm like, I'm biting ankles if I'm doing anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing much. But these guys were like, Petrogallo's from fucking, what is it, upstate? Poughkeepsie type of cat. You know what I mean? He's not above this shit. And it escalated from that, and it was pretty bloody. One of the dudes got hit by a chair. Luckily, we got the fuck out of there. But that was like the only real fight I've ever had, but it was comedy-based, and it was House Party related. And that's all I got.
So
that's so crazy to have a fight over.
It's such a funny
fucking movie in the 90s.
So now, yeah, because then that group of guys, we always laugh about House Party now. It's like fucking House Party, dude. And what was the other movie they made? Like Class Act?
Crisscross?
No, it was Class. It was Kid and Play.
Kid and Play.
Class Act, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
It was
the
a
other one.
school.
It was a kid with the hair like this. That dude.
Yeah.
It's like, was he black? Was he white? No one knows.
And then the other dude, firmly black.
Firmly black. That guy was black.
Those are good movies. But yeah, it was like, you're just like, House Party? We're gonna fight over House Party? That was that.
So
all white dudes?
No, if you can believe it, Marcellino, not a white man.
Oh, okay.
And Boog, not a white man.
No, okay, but that makes sense.
300-pound heavyset.
Boog sounds like a
Boog used to know the thing that Boog was a comic that you used to be able to scream out cross streets in Phoenix, and he would tell you the closest church is chicken. And it was like a savant. It was like that was like his autism. It was actually one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. He's dead now, but
that fight killed him.
He didn't make it to 40. I remember if you had to give him a ride home, you had to have good suspension because he was bringing it down. Good dude, hilarious comic. I love you, Boog.
I mean, did
Dead
he
man.
like clear the floor?
Boog was physically dominating the situation, and then
he died for real.
Yeah, he didn't die that night. Yeah, he's
Oh,
yeah.
oh, that sucks.
No, yeah, he was a good comic.
He knew
Yeah,
the
it's
closest church's chicken.
You know what I'm
no matter
saying?
where
Yeah,
you
what
were.
was it? Yeah.
That life expectancy is not too high.
When you got that call, the booger passed away, you're like, in his sleep?
Church's chicken in the sky.
Yeah, at a church. Yeah, exactly. He prayed to the wrong church. But they got some swings, and these dudes were so faded too. You know, just like Scottsdale, Phoenix. There's just two white dudes that were trying to fight. I always call it's unchecked white aggression in that community. They're just dudes that don't know why they're angry, but they're like, dude, I'm gonna fucking fight somebody. Because we said, you say some shit like you say on comedy stage, like shut the fuck up or whatever like that. You guys are probably gay together, all that shit, right? And they're like, dude, we're gonna fucking fight those 5 comics for saying that shit to us. They probably fucked afterwards. They probably are gay.
Who left the fight in worse condition?
The 2 dudes.
Okay.
Because the guy, we didn't know, but the bartender, what was it called? Papi Chulos was the Mexican restaurant. And the bartender there was waiting for this moment. I remember when he came in, it was like like the Eagles in Lord of the Rings 3. Is that too deep of a rap?
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I fuck with Lord of the
You know what I mean? When they come
Now you
in
got
and
me.
you're like, ah.
Yeah.
He came in, he opened the fucking patio door, grabbed them, and just fucking like tossed these boys into the bar. And just went to, it was UFC shit. It was pretty neat. And speaking of surgeon, my pants were moving at that point. Dude. Daddy was rock hard. I was like, get the Hitachi out. Let me watch.
Plug it in.
Plug it in.
Plug it in, baby.
But that was good. I've avoided fights. I remember I got swung on one time as 5th grader because me and Zach Tawney were still both going after Julie Mueller. Which is, isn't that a name that like only exists in middle school?
In white middle school.
White middle school in suburban Cincinnati.
Julie Mueller.
And he swung on me at a soccer thing in gym class. But I was always little, like I'm barely 5'9" now. I'm funny because I talked shit to avoid the fights. I was always like, I'll fuck you up with words.
You seem like a likable guy. Yeah.
And yeah, I am.
Yeah, they seem like you could just, if it gets heated, you can get out of it.
And my big brother was a very popular dude in high school too. So you knew if you fucked with Lil Turner.
You look like a politician on his off day.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can finesse my way out of
You
most
look like
things.
a cool politician guy. Like, I'm at the library in the Bronx today.
You know what I'm saying?
Local city kids.
What are we doing? We're raising some money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're adding some flavor to the politician.
Yeah, but
I got a little sauce.
Puma.
I got sauce. Call me Puma Poppy. I'm the white dude from Cincinnati. We got sauce. We got a little flavor. I don't know what it is.
The drunker he gets, the more fucking like, come on, you watch House Party?
Come on now.
Which one of you motherfuckers fuck with
Hey,
House
come on
Party?
now. Who fucks with House Party now?
Kid
Who
and
hasn't
play.
had a fight over House Party?
You guys want to
Belle
break
Biv
down?
DeVoe?
You
You
guys
like
want to
Belle
break down Phase on Love movies?
I'm just trying to play Too Short. Philly.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
we-
cultured.
Can we knock on wood? Because we've said a lot about how you're not gonna you don't get into fights or whatever. Let's just knock on wood.
Oh sure.
I feel like we
Well, I own guns.
jinx
now,
the shit out of it.
I'm not worried about that.
We're past that.
I own guns. Vote for me for senator of Florida. I own guns.
All right, Josie. So stories you've told in the past. You talked about the girl called you a slut in school.
That was the only fight I've ever been in.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
And how young? Like high school?
13. Yeah,
Ooh,
middle,
nice.
middle school.
What about the
you go red?
6 police officers?
Okay, well,
that's in
It
there.
sounds like you've omitted
Hey,
some fights
did you
throughout
forget about the polizier that you fucking
the
assaulted?
coast of it. What about Venice? The violence in Venice.
I was not at the wheel when that was happening. That was somebody
Jesus
else.
took the wheel.
Yeah.
Jesus, take over. Jesus
Chulito.
Christos.
The small dog incident at the
Yeah.
hotel, and then the airport situation prior to the freak out.
Yes.
Do you have any other fight stories?
So I probably shouldn't go into the police thing because it's every bit of information that I learned about that. I was like, I'm a bad person and we don't need to. So we shouldn't go into that. Do you want to hear? I could tell you the story of when my car got shot.
I love this.
Or
You're
I
a
could-
choose your own adventure.
Or I
book.
could tell you about some road rage that I've been in.
I think we did hear the car got shot story.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I'll just
That's
tell
like
you.
when you first moved to Philly, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then my car, but I wasn't even present for that. That was like as good of a shooting incident as it could be because I wasn't in the car or anything. But no, I mean, I get into road rage a lot. And when I moved so I haven't since I moved to Philly because when I first moved to Philly, I had like just gotten the keys for my apartment. I wasn't moving my stuff in until that weekend. But I like turned down a one-way street just just like one street over from where I live. And there was a car in front of me, and he just stopped in the middle of it, and he opened up his door, and I mean, it looked like he took an entire fucking outside trash can and just dumped trash right there. Like, we're not at a stop sign. He's just stopped in the middle of the road and just unloading all of his shit into the road. And I'm like, don't be a dick. So I lay into my horn like a white lady would for like 10 seconds. And then I'm just like this behind him. Because I'm like, one, you're stopping in the middle of the fucking road. And two, that's an asshole move. Like, I'm about to move here. Don't make it dirtier than it already is. And he just, I saw his door open, and he just leaned out of it, and he went, if I get out of this car, I'm going to fucking kill you. And I just went, and then he drove off, and that was the last time that I had road rage in Philly. So that's just, I don't get into full-blown fights.
Philly
But I
Barbie
toe the
takes the high
line.
road.
Yeah, I toe the line pretty hard.
Philly Barbie dream car comes with a bullet hole Acura RSX, 2 dead Italian Ken dolls.
So that's the last time that I had any kind of road rage. It's been smooth sailing since then. But I've millions of road
Road rage
stories.
is not the move because it could end up. It could get so nasty.
And here it's bad. Like here, if somebody like almost hits me when I'm crossing the street or something, I'll smack your car. I don't give a fuck. There's something about them being in a car that I don't know. It feels safe, but I know it's not.
I was little too. When I was like younger, I'm like fucking 19, 20, and I would like smack a car or hit a car. And now I look at it, I'm like, what the fuck was I doing?
It's so dangerous, but like when you're in that moment, you're just like,
hey,
fuck
like
it.
I hit a guy's fucking hood, like, you asshole.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Yeah.
I'm like,
gotta do that in this city though. Right?
I stopped.
You did
watch
stop?
enough fucking videos on World Star, you're like, oh.
Yeah, that's true because people are worried about their car.
That's that's what I'm seeing now more and more of is like
I'll just say, you fucking idiot, and but walk really fast.
Dude, I remember.
You fucking asshole.
Me and my brother we were like probably, I don't even know, 8, 9, 10 years old. We were sitting out on the street, and it was in the summertime. The tarballs, they were melting on the street, and you could grab them, turn them into tarballs, and we would just throw them at cars coming by.
I don't even know what you're saying right now.
What the fuck is a tarball?
I'm pretty sure that's a bad slur.
A tarball?
And we're going to have to edit it out.
There were things that would fill the gaps in Cincinnati streets, and it would just be black tar. And you could, but it was so hot in the summertime that it would melt, and so you could grab it.
I'm sorry.
While it's
You were
steaming hot?
picking up road tar and launching it at cars
7,
for
8,
fun?
9, 100%. Again, horrible shit. Thinking about how dumb this is as an adult, you're like, what the fuck? And luckily, some dude stopped and like took us in, didn't like fucking clock us like some adult could have, and it would have been completely understandable. And he like drove us back to our parents and told my parents like, yo, you know what your fucking kids are doing on Mellon Drive out
Have
there?
you heard of tarballs?
Yeah, you ever heard of tarballs? They're fucking kids.
Yeah, we heard of them.
I like that you.
That's why we moved this neighborhood. We tried to vote up tarball.
I like that you were like, oh yeah, tar balls, and didn't like address it. That's unique to you. That's a
100%.
unique experience.
You guys know tarballs?
You know how sometimes you take asphalt, molten asphalt, and you ball it up as a child and
Fucking
you chuck it?
throw it.
That before.
Shout out to Cincinnati.
I didn't even know Cincinnati got that hot. I didn't think the road melted. What the fuck?
It's humidity. Once it's like 80, 85, 90 is like the hottest shit.
Are you wearing
'cause it's
oven
like
mitts?
100. You guys, no.
You just did it barehanded?
Oh, yeah.
Savages. Nice.
Yeah. Scrappy young kids.
Yeah. Fucking people up.
Come on.
Okay.
You guys know tarballs.
Come on, man.
That does sound like a slur from Sinners.
So bad.
That's like an old-timey slur.
Somebody referred to Michael B. Jordan as that in a recent film.
All right, last segment. We're finally moving on to our final segment, which is scary things.
Ooh.
I know. I knew it was coming, and it still gives me a little.
I don't like
They
that.
got you a little bit, Daddy Turner?
Come on.
This is Scary Things, part where we talk about weird, creepy, unexplainable, possibly paranormal experiences. This could be anything from a dream that came true, sleep paralysis, or all the way over to like hearing a voice or seeing something, whatever that freaked you out in the moment that you couldn't explain.
This just happened recently with me, like a month or so back. Yeah, what is it? May 6th, like 3 weeks ago. Unfortunately, my uncle just passed away.
Sorry.
Good man. Sorry about that. Like one of those uncles that's like the homie uncle. He was like, First of all, he'd be super weird if I called him the homie. But like former Navy SEAL, good dude. I didn't have like the craziest stability upbringing. My mother's a great person, my father too. But like I needed probably a guy like this to be like more of like the vision for what a man could be. Good dude, right? And he lived in Flagstaff, Arizona. I was out there recently after he passed, that week after. And my aunt they're always talking crazy shit about. I think my Grandma Moody, lives in that house and haunts him, always moving shit around.
Isn't that where the Casper house is?
No.
In the movie Casper.
I thought it was in upstate New York.
Did they not live in Flagstaff? Can
No.
you just double check that?
You can look that up. I think that I would know because I go there a lot, and they don't have anything to brag about, and they would definitely brag about that.
See, I guess I don't know
they
what
did
else.
discover Pluto.
I don't know what else
You're
Flagstaff
welcome.
would
So
be
they
in
discovered the
my
only
mind
planet that's not a planet.
Yes,
Noted.
Harrington.
The film follows the title character who peacefully haunts a mansion called Whipstaff Manor in Friendship, Maine.
So was it the whip staff?
More than 3,000 miles away. But the staff,
whip
you're right.
staff, the
That is
staff,
fair.
You know, it's just a connection. Sorry.
I'm with you.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, and so, but he passed. Like, yeah. Then my aunt and
Whip
cousin
staff.
are always like, they're always very like, is my Grandma Moody in the house? She's always moving shit around and stuff like that. And we were just kind of talking about if Duff is there, and it was just weird. The first night I was there, I'd never really experienced anything like it.
Grandma Moody?
Grandma Moody.
My boy's filled with spice.
Come on, Muriel Moody is my
Grandma
grandmother's
Moody,
name.
Uncle
She fucking.
Duff.
I used to read her the menu at the nursing home back in Cincinnati on her last couple years of life. I'd be like, Salisbury steak. She'd be like, Big Time Charlie. What else is on the fucking menu? She was great. Born and raised Brooklyn.
Love her.
Brooklyn. One of the first female to graduate Johns Hopkins back in the early 1900s.
Hell yeah.
Great woman.
What part of Brooklyn?
You know what? I don't know exactly. My mom would know, but I have a classic like American Irish tale. They came over late 1800s. You know, what would it be? Ellis Island, I guess. And then they opened a bar in Brooklyn, the McManuses. Great stuff. Either way.
Amazing.
Duff, who I'm talking about, Uncle Duff, one of the greatest names ever. This is a man named Duff Burns. He had a mustache like Tom Selleck, former Navy SEAL, lived up to the name. He's the type of dude Tom Clancy would have written multiple novels about. But and that night, it was weird. We were talking about it, and then that night, I swear, I don't ever get like feelings like that, but I was sitting there in this little parlor room that they have on the bottom floor, and it was the first time I'd ever probably like I remember hearing some creaking and stuff, and you're like, what is that? And I've stayed in this home a lot, and I would say it was the first time I've ever felt like a chill through my body that felt like something, and it also, I guess, it coinciding with him having passed in that home. The hospice was there. Palliative care and stuff was in that home, so he passed away in the room next to where I was sleeping. And it was the first time I'd gotten like chills, like, I don't know, the feeling that somebody was like, I guess maybe passing through me. I don't know what it was, but I just remember feeling like something. That was the first time I've ever had an experience like that, and that was like 3 weeks ago. And it was just it is one of those things, I don't know if you've had those, where you're just like, something just happened.
Yeah.
And it felt like that was him, or maybe it was my Grandma Moody talking shit.
So,
like she
like,
always
you
does.
felt like it was a comfortable presence.
It did not feel. Yes, I
Yeah.
wasn't scared. I was a little like put off, but I wasn't like something's happening in a negative way at all. Yeah.
Because we talked briefly before the show, and you said you don't like scary stuff, you don't like scary movies.
Yeah.
So if something like freaky happened and it didn't freak you out,
It didn't.
then it makes sense that it would be like a familiar presence.
It felt very much like that. And then I'm always like, I don't know, is it my brain playing tricks on me? I don't know. I don't know if I do believe in something else. I don't know if I believe in like the way people perceive ghosts, like the Casper type thing. Obviously, like I don't know if I believe that type of shit, but not to say Casper is like the real way people think.
I would
see
love
things,
to
but-
have a Casper.
I always wanted
feel,
one.
I do feel the energy though. I feel like there's got to be something beyond us when we die. That there's something within me that is not human, obviously. And I don't
It's
know
not
what
human. No, what is it?
it's something. You know what I'm saying? The energy.
I'm saying because we've had a demon on the show before.
Really?
What?
Yep, we have had a demon on the show. Danny Dubs,
Danny
Philly's
Dubs,
own.
producer of Dad Meat.
He claims he's a demon.
He's pretty much a demon.
Wait,
born,
what?
His mom bore a demon. He has a room in his grandmother's house that
Wait,
no
did
one
you
goes
say his
into.
mom bore a demon?
His mom bore a demon.
Yeah, they
Is that the term?
Yeah, I think so, and I would be quick to correct him, but I think so. Yeah,
Wait, Danny
Is that
Dubs is the demon?
Danny Dubs is a demon.
A demon.
Not the.
He even
it's
has
not
the
like Danny
tattoos
Dubs
on his
the
body
demon.
of
It's
it.
a demon. Yeah.
Well, he's got like
I've known
6'6",
this man
like
for years.
Omen?
I didn't know this.
He's like a cool Philly demon. He
Sweetest guy.
Philly Barbie.
He's
Philly
very
demon.
nice.
Yeah, he's just kind of rolling with the bit. His mom and his grandma were convinced that a room in their house was haunted. When the grandma was a child, she had a Ouija board and she summoned something, and it caused the family to like go crazy. The father started doing crack and banging whores.
I mean,
Because the
what
mom,
part of the country is this?
Philly.
What are we talking about?
The mom,
This is the caveat is always this is in Philly.
the mom.
Do you believe this? This guy started doing crack and banging whores. Where was this at?
definitely the Ouija
It was in
board.
Kensington. Oh, really? Okay. Well, context matters.
They're pooping on
Yeah, it was the Ouija board.
pooping on cars everywhere.
Yeah,
It's
it's
crazy.
like, what was the Eagles' record this year? They were 3-13. It was a transition year. It was
It's
after
a demon. I'm
McNabb.
telling you, it's a demon. You're like, no. His mom was convinced that when. Well, what was the story about?
It was something
she
about like
asked
nobody,
something-
yeah, like there were no no children or no sons or something, and then they asked. I don't remember specifically, but
Is
something
there a demon
about, like,
in the room? It said no.
and then they like asked for.
Then who are you? And it said a helper or something.
But yeah, but it was like that. Danny was like the first son or the first grandchild to be born, something
Yeah.
like that. And then to this day, no, like that room, they still live in that house, the grandmother,
Ooh,
and
I would dip so quick.
nobody goes into
Yeah.
that room.
Yeah, of course.
And
Oh,
I
really?
begged Danny. I was like,
He was
"Can
like,
you
"Nobody
have
does it."
your chick like get your grandma out of the house for a bit, and can I just get in there for a couple hours, set up some equipment, record some stuff?"
What, do you have like equipment like that?
We got in the
Yeah,
budget.
I
We
would-
can get some.
I have some.
We got
I
in
have,
the budget.
We got a budget. We
I have lots of.
You guys
I
have the stuff from the Fear show on MTV. We just got the backup. Yeah.
the EKG or whatever it's
I
called.
have lots.
I'm not the one who's so far away.
I have lots of cat cameras that I could just throw. I could put my cat cameras in there.
Oh, you just put a ring camera in there? What the
doorbell,
fuck are
and
we
Oh,
they're
talking
like,
about?
"Can you hear us, Lucifer?"
I have EMF detector.
But I forgot
can
what
get
she
other
asked.
stuff.
What,
I don't
what-
remember.
What he asked on the Ouija board. That's what was like freaky. Like, are you the devil? And she said, it spelled out a helper. Anyways, she went so
Devil's
crazy.
helper.
She spent all of their life savings on the church to get priests to come and exorcise the house. And that's what made the father go crazy. That all the money he worked hard for, she went behind his back. So the whole family, the gossip of the family was, this bitch lost her mind. She started playing with a Ouija board. She lost her mind. She had a son after not being able to have a kid. Something and then the great grandmother said that your baby, if you have a boy, it's gonna be the devil. So then Danny Dubs was born. No one went into his room. His family fell apart.
Is he a comic?
He's a producer. I don't think
Yeah.
he does comedy, but he's
No, he just does like the
Thank
video
God.
stuff.
he's
But he'll be around. He's around.
You're like, I don't want to run into this motherfucker.
I don't want to follow this guy. He's so far away. What's your walk-up song? That's just Rob Zombie.
He and his wife are just objectively like the nicest
So
people
sweet.
ever.
Really?
They're
That's the thing.
so
That is
sweet.
the devil.
He's-
Usually the devil.
That's true.
Can you pull up Danny Dubs just so he's the nicest dude, nicest guy.
The devil?
Danny.
You mean Gabriel Byrne and that?
Harrington, you fought him, right? You fought Danny Dubs. No, who
And he
fought,
beat him.
Who fought him?
Harrington beat
No,
the devil.
Harrington
beat him.
didn't.
Wait,
Paco beat him.
a guy named
Paco.
Michael beat the. You beat him?
No,
Paco
it was,
did.
Paco. I was gonna say because Michael,
Paco's
Michael
right there.
is the guy that where
Yeah,
Jesus' left hand
Archangel,
man. We're like, yeah,
Archangel.
we start the fucking war.
We have
know
a
that?
pretty
Michael
good
the
record
Archangel.
against devils.
Yeah, we're undefeated.
Yeah.
Right? We got Lucifer. We at least tamed him. I think he's still
yeah,
alive.
That's my confirmation name is Michael.
Oh, really?
No,
There he
that-
is.
that's
look at his-
Paco.
look at his
Paco and Danny
tattoos.
Dubs.
If you zoom in, you can see.
Oh, that's the stuff that you see at the
Yeah, you can't zoom in on
Rhapsody
it.
Grove, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that?
yeah. So he doubled down and he got a bunch of like devil tattoos.
This guy can only
And
beat
he's a
off
nice
to
guy.
Alex Jones videos and shit like that. This is
Frogs in the water. I'm telling you, frogs in the water.
Bohemian Rhapsody. It's real.
So, but you're,
Wait, is it called Bohemian Grove, right? Bohemian Grove. Bohemian Rhapsody is just coming to Queen.
The song was made by a gay lover. He's a gay man in his prime. Bohemian Rhapsody. Parenting.
parents.
Parenting Ford. So, anyways,
Well,
yeah.
shout out to Uncle Duff, not
So-
the devil. One of the most in touch people. When he died, we were all like, "Yo, he's like definitely whatever version of afterlife he thinks he's there." He was like a dude that like was very God-fearing in the best way.
He sounds like the best person ever.
He was honestly, I mean, he had his flaws like every man would, but he was a very good dude.
He could kill a man?
Yeah, with his hands, yeah, for sure.
That's my favorite type of guy.
Oh, one time he shed tears twice in my life that I ever saw him. One time he was just explaining this Abraham Lincoln book. And he like started crying in the living room.
Hell
I was
yeah.
like, "This is amazing."
That's a man.
And then
when-
dude, this is a man. And then the
when
other time,
when Trump was elected president.
first of all, he loved that. Actually, the only positive thing about Trump being in office, I was like, at least Duff got to see that.
That's how I feel about my dad. I'm just like, he's having a good
At
time.
least Duff was having a good time. And then the other time he shed a tear, we were at an Outback sharing a blooming onion, and he was talking about, he told us the story about his POW training as a Navy SEAL. And there's this moment in the story where he like, because you go through this training multiple days and they're convincing you that you're a prisoner of war. It's crazy. Like the mind games they give you. And then you finally realize that it's all, fake, or they're training when the American flag drops down. And I swear to God, the moment in the story when he tells you that the American flag drops down, he like on cue cried. And I'm like, dude, this is the best blooming onion I've ever had in my life.
I'm sorry, just the visual of like a grown, like a Navy SEAL crying into a blooming onion was a
it was
beautiful thing for me.
It was great.
Was it just one solitary tear
No,
down his face?
he did a Flagstaff, Arizona. They don't love the Navajos, so no. Multiple tears.
We need some more pumpernickel bread right now.
But just a good man, and so I liked that. I lit a candle for him at St. Patrick's Cathedral the other day because I was like, he would like that. Honestly, he was Christian. He probably would hate it as Catholic. But,
It does sound like if we are to believe all of this, that there is afterlife and whatever,
Yeah.
that it does seem like it was like him comforting you.
I think he was saying what up.
Yeah.
I was able to write him a nice letter before he passed, and I felt good. I know he at least heard. I know my aunt read it for him, and maybe he was just saying thank you or something.
That's beautiful.
Shout out to
That's
Duff.
nice, man.
Shout
Duff
out Duff.
Burns, Sausage McDuffin, Duffel Bear,
Goddamn legend.
Duff and Tonic.
Duff man.
You got one more?
Duff man.
I sleep in the Duff.
Josie, I didn't ask you beforehand. So you have told stories on the show before. Basement, lights, kid. You've done a tarot card reading here.
Yep.
Those are great.
Yeah.
Do you have any other stories?
So I was talking to my best friend about coming on here, and I was like, I feel bad. I don't really have anything else for the ghost story. And she was like, oh, you told that story about when we were in the play in high school? And I was like, yo, I fully forgot about that. I feel bad. I should have brought it up. It should have been the first one that I brought up. So I went to Westminster High School, and I was in the theater department. And the first year, my best friend went to the school as well before she moved. And we were in drama class together, and we had to do a scene together where we were doing like a stage fight. So it was like our big final project. We had to act out this whole scene. And the way that the stage was set up in this auditorium was, it was like, you had like the pavilion seating, but there was like a second level above the stage. And that's where they mainly kept like wardrobe and props. And it was like on either side was the dressing room technically. And you could go out to the catwalk where all the lights were. So we're in 9th grade. We do our scene. It goes really well. We were both like really happy and just having fun with it. And we were really, really proud of it. And as we're walking off, we were like exiting the stage, and we looked up and we saw just this guy like arms crossed leaning against the like railing, and he was just watching it. And I was like, who the fuck is that? Like he looked young, but like it was nobody that I recognized. And I was like, all right, skipping class, whatever. And so we got off, and at the end we were talking to our drama teacher, and we were like, I think somebody's skipping class. And she was like, why, what? And we were like, oh yeah, we just saw some guy like just sitting like watching us. That's so creepy. And she was like, oh, you saw Charlie? And she was like, did he have like short kind of dark brown hair and glasses? And we were like, yeah. And she was like, so back in 1995, the lead actor for their spring musical was up in one of the fitting rooms, or the dressing rooms up there, and he just suddenly had a major heart attack. Like he had cardiac arrest because he had some underlying condition that nobody knew about. And they found him it was opening night, like 15 minutes before they were supposed to go. The vice principal like went up and found him. It was sad, very sad.
The Eagles had just lost.
Died suddenly. This is Maryland. The Ravens had lost.
Yeah, they just Ray Lewis had just killed those two.
Exactly.
He was dealing with a lot.
But yeah, so this kid just died suddenly, and then the teacher said, she was like, yeah, so sometimes, when people are doing plays and stuff, they'll look up and they'll see him just resting there. And I was like, nuh-uh, but she described him perfectly as how
when
we
they
saw
do the
him.
description is always fun because you're like blonde.
It was
You're like,
I'm
what?
like, yeah, that was exactly who we saw. So I don't know. It could have just been somebody cutting class and watching the play, but we were freaked out in that moment where we were like, did we just
It
see
felt like a
fucking
real
ghost?
person. Like it didn't feel like a ghost.
We did not think it was a ghost
felt
at
like it was
all.
a
We
dude, yeah.
100% were just like, that is a person
Ooh.
just up there.
So you saw a ghost?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. And I
That's pretty
completely
neat.
forgot about it on every time I've been
Does
on
that
the show.
school still exist?
It does.
Have you ever Googled like this phenomenon at all, just to see if people have posted about it on Reddit or whatever, if other people have had this experience?
I haven't. I mean, I just took it as like she said that since 1995 that it had been happening. Like other kids had said that they saw him.
Charlie what?
But
Charlie.
I don't know his last name.
Charlie Westminster High School.
Yeah,
Guys,
Charlie
dude,
Westminster High
Look
School.
it up.
Why is it common for souls to get trapped in like playhouses and theaters and stuff?
You're asking.
I
No,
have
I
a
don't know. I
theory.
think it's death.
I feel like I always hear,
specific
like,
death. Though. Don't
something-
you think it's the death more
Yeah.
than the playhouse?
Yeah, I think it's that like this, because I do believe in ghosts. I think or in some regard, I think
Yeah.
you can kind of get trapped sort of between the realms or whatever. But I think in this situation, it's like, yeah, I mean, that kid was like 15 or 16 years old, something like
Who
that,
had a similar
and just
story?
died suddenly. And it's like,
Yeah.
if you have stuff that you like, if your soul can't let go,
Unsettled.
I think, you
Yeah.
can maybe get stuck.
Yeah. Whereas I think the death thing that I was saying, I think he was the opposite, where he was like, "Yo, I'm good."
Yeah,
He was saying, "I'm out."
yeah.
Whereas that one is like stuck
He's
in
like,
the,
he's still
the
lingering.
in between.
But there's also like the belief of like the residual haunting, where it's kind of like not an intelligent thing where it is like in your situation where it was like his consciousness interacting with you, but it's just kind of like something traumatic happened there. So it leaves an energy imprint in the space, and it's just kind of like something maybe like replaying itself over and over again. Who knows? But that's like another one. I'm trying to think. Oh, this is before you were on the show, but there was a guy, Bobby Haha, comedian, like
This sounds
Yes.
way more like the devil than Danny
Yeah.
Dobbs. Bobby Haha. I will never. I hope I never meet this guy.
Bobby,
I hate him already. I'm sure he's a nice guy, dude.
he's a great guy.
This is my buddy Bobby Haha. Dude, fuck you.
He told
He's probably a great guy. You have to be a good guy to be Bobby Ha. Imagine
guy.
this guy's a jackass, Bobby Ha.
He's a older guy, also a veteran, and then he's
God bless.
dating a much younger Asian boy, man of age.
Mazel tov.
But it's just a weird situation because he's such a dude, and then he's dating this like very feminine
I think I remember
Asian
this
twink.
guy. I think I might have seen him at Compound.
And like the
back in the
situation
day.
that he experienced in an apartment that he lives in was kind of just like the replaying of something terrible that happened in his apartment, which was like an explosion of some sort, and he just kind of like experienced it happening.
I remember I got laid one time because some girl was saying that she was house sitting and she was sleeping the night before or whatever, and like she woke up and she felt like somebody was pressing down on her chest, like she couldn't move. And she said it was so real. I remember she was like, I forget if we were talking or texting probably, and she said it was so real. And then I used that to be like, sounds like you need some company. And but then when I did end up hanging out with her, she was like, I talked to the owners of the home, and they said that somebody had, the previous owners had, or the female of the people that lived there before, she had killed herself in the room that was right next to where she was sleeping. So like that type of shit. It was weird.
That could also be sleep paralysis.
Yeah, I've heard
Oh,
that.
maybe.
Because that's like common thing about feeling pressure.
Daddy got laid. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever the cause.
Yeah.
But that's like pressure on the chest, or seeing like an entity in the room, not being
really?
able to move in the middle of the night. It's like a sleep paralysis.
Because it's
thing.
your mind has woken up, but your body hasn't yet. So you're still, your body like paralyzes you when you sleep so that you don't get up and like walk around and stuff. But that's, so yeah, your like mind wakes up. So you're awake and you're aware, but you still have like the weird
That sounds
sensations.
horrible.
My best friend, when we were kids, her mom was, which she's dead now, so it's fine. But
cool.
so bad woman. But my best friend was, we
And
know
mentally
now.
handicapped.
It's
Dead tongue.
unfortunate.
Well, but no, but now we know that she was just having sleep paralysis repeatedly, and her mom would fucking tell her, she's like, those are the shadow people. They're trying to kill you in your sleep. So
Oh.
you should come sleep in my bed.
They're called tarballs.
And that was
Tarballs. These are tarballs. What you guys are discussing is, if I may step in, these are tarballs as an expert.
Yeah, it's just sleep paralysis. That's all that is. She's like the shadowed people are choking you.
Well, she had a great butt.
On that note, we're going to do some plugs and we'll get out of here. Figs, start with you. Work on the table. What do you got to plug?
Oh, at Comic Mike Figs, you guys know the vibe. Thank you for subscribing to the Thing Is Instagram page. We just fucking cracked 1,000. That's awesome. Since we revived the page.
A whole 1,000.
We got a whole 1,000. Hey, that's awesome.
That's
page
good.
was dormant, and now we brought it back to life. Go on x.com to see previews of my show, Fig Talk. Check it out. And I'm at the stand all the time. I'm on the road with Vinny Guadagnino. I'm doing his show. We're running around at Comic Mike Figs.
Michael?
Michael Turner at Turner Comedy on most things. And then I got Denver this weekend. If you're in Denver, May 9th and 10th, I'm at Denver Underground Comedy, or Denver Comedy Underground. And then I got Columbus coming up, Detroit coming up. If you're in New York this week, I'm bouncing around New York. I'll be at the stand the next couple of nights.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then I just taped something for Don't Tell Comedy, so I'll be dropping that at some point this summer. So
Let's
fuck
go.
with me on IG. And then during the football season, I'll be doing a whole tour. I go on the road I'm a Bengals fan, so I go to every Bengals road game, and I'll do a comedy tour around that. So
Hell yeah.
follow me now. I got good content all the time, so appreciate you guys.
Awesome. Josie?
Yep, you can follow me everywhere at Josie Marcellino, Josie Marcellino. This Thursday, I'm at Next in Line in Philly. Next Thursday, I will be doing a fun little guest spot up at New York Comedy Club for the first time ever, so that's exciting. And then, I'm here at Gas Digital, I feel like, every other week now, so you'll see me around.
Gas Digital family.
Yeah, and I feel like every time I come on the show, I walk away and I'm like, damn, I just told the whole world how big of a piece of shit I am.
I'll be losing my mind this summer in Italy.
Hoping to never lose my shit again.
You can see me
that
lose
was
my mind.
somebody's email. That's cool. I saw that.
Location.
But yeah.
To be clear, that's Anxiety Attack at New
Yes.
York Comedy Club.
Yes.
That Mike Figs is hosting.
Hey. Mike, I plugged the shit out of it during the morning zoo today. I'm so sorry.
No,
I didn't realize that's the one you're talking about.
That is the one
Me,
I'm talking
Justin
about.
Silver, Zach Amico. If I can come on through the last month's one was so much fun. It was so wild. We gotta pack that shit out with Gas Digital fans because Louis J. Gomez showed up, fucking went ham. All these Swedish people were like, "What the hell's going on?" Louis was like, "You ever eat pussy?" And, you go, and it was hilarious.
What day of the week
Sounds
is
like
it?
a really well-written joke
Thursday.
from Lewis.
Yeah.
He's always a writer.
It was a Thursday night.
Yeah,
So it's actually,
Thursday the 15th.
I got it on my phone.
nice.
Maybe I'll try to pass by.
It'll be fun.
That is the most
I'm doing
100% a person
spot.
not going to the show.
Thursday.
Maybe I'll try to pop in.
New York Comedy Club,
fun.
10 o'clock, Thursday the 15th. Come on by.
Look at that.
Hell yeah.
You can follow me on Instagram at Shannon Lee 6982. Wherever you watch the show, you can also watch it live on Gas Digital every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Use promo code TTI. You will get a discount on your subscription. You get access to every single episode of this show we've ever done. So you hear all of Josie's crazy stories that she's told up until now, and then you have access to them as she continues to tell them.
Philly Barbie.
Fashion over dress.
Know it before the special.
Running away from the
Kidnapping,
car and a kidnapping.
You don't remember the things that you've said, but you remember all of my piece of shit moments.
Remember that fashion.
Parenting.
Barrington. You can also get access to the Power Hours that we've done, limited series of the Power Hours that are only available to Gas Digital subscribers, where Figs and I and some comedians or musicians get super drunk, embarrassing things. It's all terrible. There's vomiting, there's violence, all kinds of crazy stuff, and you can only watch that as a subscriber. If you listen on iTunes or YouTube, make sure to rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, leave a comment. Every little bit of interaction helps the show to grow. Take part in our dinner table live chat for the YouTube premiere, which is now Thursday right after Story Wars, 9:30-ish, but I'll post like exactly the time before it happens. If you have a story to submit for bad dates, bad things, or scary things, send it into thethingspodcast@gmail.com. Or if you see videos on the internet of any of these things, send it in that we could feature on the show. Somebody sent me a body cam video of somebody that looked like me. I didn't watch it because I have, of course, seen the body cam footage already, but in a future episode, we'll show it because I did see it. I saw the resemblance, but a future episode. So keep sending that stuff to be featured on the show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys for being on the show.
So, yeah.
Fun
Thank you for having
episode.
us.
We'll be
Appreciate
back
it.
next week. Bye, guys.